I'm alive!
Hello!
Yay! Good morning.
Hello, everybody!
Hello.
Well, I'm in Lorian's spot.
Give me a sec. Done.
How dare you get out of there? Go away!
Done.
It's mine
Get
now.
out of there!
I was like, why am I blue?
Because Lorian had internet issues after
Because
he
it's
started the countdown.
cold.
Yes.
Why am I blue? Because it's cold.
It's not that. Well, it's cold for you.
Yes.
Welcome in, everybody. We are back for episode 2 of season 2 of Circus of the Broken Chain, where our circus heroes or circus performers head home. And by home, it's the city where their arch nemesis lives. And yeah. So it's going to be fun.
Very fun.
If you missed our last episodes, everything's up on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. All our previous episodes on all our stuff gets put up on YouTube. We've got a huge back catalogue from 4 years. I was going to say 7. 4 years. We've got a huge back catalogue of stuff. Not just this game, but we've got Call of Cthulhu, we've got City of Mist, we've got some Dungeons and Dragons. We've got a big mix of bits and pieces there. We use Syrinscape for our background audio because I think Syrinscape is amazing, and they really does set the mood for our show. So they're not a sponsor, but check them out at Syrinscape.com. Hitokibi Chibi did all the overlay art for this game, as well as the character art. She did amazing work. She's also a cast member for one of our shows during the week, and you can check her out on Twitch TV at Hitokibi Chibi or at bestokecc.com.au. Bestoke Character Creations, that is. She's a full-time commission artist doing essentially role-playing characters. Really broad repertoire and skill set. And I think that's about everything except for Roll20 Spotlight and Roll20 Ambassadors, and the fact that you can help our players by donating. Those little stars above their heads there in their frames, that actually means stuff.
Yes.
So our characters have hero points that can be spent on a reroll of a dice, or it can be spent on essentially saving their life. And we have a maximum of, I believe, 5 for this overlay. So yeah, if you donate $1 per $1, nominate the person, or even do a redemption if you're a long-time viewer, and that person gets another reroll, gets another hero point. If you subscribe to the channel, everybody gets 1. If you gift subscribe, everybody gets 2. That's kind of how our donations work. It's not a lot of money that we're asking for. It's just about helping out the channel, helping pay for the overlays and things like that, and the artworks, and just paying those little bills which add up over the time. But I think that's all the bits and pieces you need to hear from me. Let's hear from everybody else here today. Starting with Will.
Oh, yes, of course. Hey, everybody. My name is Will. I've been playing Jojyre Vanrik, the quick-talking scoundrel rogue. However, as it stands, as we're going to Escadar,
Chin on the mic.
things up, really?
You're not that bad.
No, it's not too
actually.
bad today.
It's fine.
Really?
You got it about right.
That is
Okay.
better.
Better. It's completely in the red for me, but it's probably
Drop it
something
down.
going on.
You are. I will say you are clipping a little bit, actually.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, I'm really excited to be in Escadar. Jojyre's not excited to be in Escadar. It is what it is. I'm excited for today. So yeah.
Del?
Hi everyone, I am Del. I will be playing Lieriel the Liberated, your Elven Aasimar escape artist and cleric of Calistria. This is her home. This is where she's lived for nearly 100 years of her life, if not more. Some century-lived catfolk is not gonna run her out. Excited to play. Excited to be here.
And so naive. Lorian?
Hi, I'm Lorian Ross, and I will be playing Azzy, the kobold, the water genasi kobold sorcerer, who at the end of last episode revealed finally his his hashtag tragic backstory. because that's what you do in D&D. You make a character that you absolutely love with all that is dear to your heart, and then you fucking traumatize them. And yeah, so that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Fun being a good choice of words, and I'm really excited to be in this new city, which is completely new to Azzy. He's never been here before, and figure out what comes next.
And Emi?
Hi, I'm Emi Rabbit, but you guys can call me Emi. I'm playing Leafy, the Leshy Druid. And today's rune, I'm back doing this, is Alga's Reversed, which is a protection rune, but reversed, it can kind of be, like I was looking at the descriptions, it seems to be a bit of a warning of things that you need to be protected against. Warns to be thoughtful of your health, look carefully at those you associate, at all associations you form at this time, and be mindful when interacting with those using you. So we've got to be careful.
I think generally you've had that throughout the entire campaign already.
Yeah, this
Like
rune,
something similar.
We've had this rune a
Yeah,
lot.
just danger constantly, just always danger.
Yeah.
But that just adds to the fun, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you can say that.
MLP?
Hello, I'm MrLiveProducer, your fire-twirling fighter Shuni, who is also a bit of a champion for Cade and Kaladin.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Arcade
Which I think it
night.
might-
Donna.
Yeah. Damn you. Anyway, so yeah, this is going to be fun.
That's what they're called.
I know, I was thinking, like we can go so more interesting there. Anyway, so it's going to be interesting with all that stuff. So yeah, let's see how the game goes.
Okay. So, a little bit of a wrap, because again, it's just really the start of the season 2. Our heroic circus performers have taken ownership or management of the Circus of the Broken Chain after fleeing several months ago from the Celestial Menagerie and the evil overseer, Mistress Dusklight. After a successful showing of their first show in a tiny little town which is really going through a tough time, instead of going from place to place and just doing small shows, it was decided, well, against their approval, to let's go to the big leads and go to the city, because a lot of the small towns are going to be struggling already. There seems to be drought and things like that going on, so let's use our good reputation already and let's just go somewhere big, because the smaller towns probably aren't going to be able to take care of them because there's just so many mouths to feed in the circus. Upon a lot of discussion and some drunken antics and a unclean chamber pot, our ringmaster was tattooed, but not really in the way which he thought, and not really the way everybody else thought, as a little bit of a prank, being the new ringmaster. You have boarded ships, multiple ships, to sail around the island to the largest city, well, pretty much the only city on the island, which is Eskadar. Some of you, this is your home, some of this is a new location, the biggest population you've ever seen. And it's not always how can I say, it's
Safest?
it may not be the safest location to be, but who knows? It's all about having adventure, having fun. And do we want to open scene on the ship for one last montage of what's happening on the ships? Or did you want
Sure.
to?
I'd just like to say what kind of we did for the rest of the journey, because I basically just wanted to say, like, Azzy would have taken Jojyre fishing, would have helped him sort of do some, which deep sea fishing is a very different ball game to sort of real fishing. So there's very much a lot of getting close to the water with a fishing spear, which I don't know how comfortable Jojyre would have been in that case. And then also Azzy would have just been practicing a lot of moving about the rigging. So he now fancies himself a little bit of an acrobat.
Okay. Anyone else doing things?
Leafy would have been spending a lot of time with like Blueberry and the wolf. And is May on our ship?
No, May and the Featherfall 5 are together on another ship. That's the ship with all the rigging that is set with the net on the deck and the tightrope between the masks.
Okay.
And they're daring the sailors to do the tightrope. Because if little May can do the tightrope, so can a burly sailor, surely.
I think Azzy would have easily
off.
sort of jumped to the other ship, just swum to practice on the tightrope and gone back.
At night, at night when there's calmer waters, you get a lot closer and you can join up with the ships a little bit, so you can transport and move across them. Yes.
In private, Leafy would have done a rune reading to herself, but I haven't done that yet, so I'm not gonna go in depth anyway, because it'll be a long reading. But maybe just spent time like just hanging out with everyone else.
Well, what does Jake do on ship?
Not really much. Just checking to make sure everyone's okay. Drinking copious amounts of tea. Probably a little bit nervous about going back to Escadar. And just checking up on the crew. Making sure all the circus people are good and if they need any help.
You don't have to mark the masks or something like that?
No, leave that to Cubby. He does all that work for me.
Yes. And then it's his ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to own the ship, you want to rent it. All the benefits and responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say Jojyre has been going all in on the ringmaster stuff. He's been every single person that he comes across, he's trying to learn something from them. So the Featherfall 5, like the tightrope stuff, he's usually after like a couple of days on the ship, he'd probably be the first one in line to do all the crazy stuff. So he's like, oh, Dwarven throwers, just shoot me out of the cannon. I want to know what you guys feel. And he also is going up with the tightropes, going across. He learned how to swim to survive. And he just made sure that everything was pretty swell. The fishing stuff, I'm pretty sure Jojyre is terrible at it. Probably didn't get a single fish, but he did find some boots, which he now uses, although they are both right boots. And yeah, but as we do get closer, I would say that Jojyre does do an outfit change. He starts wearing a vest and a little bit of just a kind of nice blazer, kind of like the picture. However, as kind of like getting closer to Escadar, Jojyre would be putting his hair up in a ponytail, and he'd be wearing like pretty thick glasses. He tells everyone it's just to make sure that he can see what he needs to see. And just to also make sure that, he doesn't have to dress up everywhere he goes. It's really most of his explanations.
New season, new outfit for everyone.
Yes. Are you commissioning new artwork?
Yes, that is Jojyre's Season 2 outfit. And the thing is that he's trying to learn different ways to especially fight. And some things came to him naturally and some things didn't. The fire poi did not work. Although he did enjoy using some of the swinging portion of it. So, yeah, a lot of different things. He's been getting a little more pizzazz, a little bit more showmanship in the way he moves.
From experience, fire poi just hits you in the back of the head a lot.
Oh, yes.
Either back of the head or somewhere else where you don't want to be hit.
It's in the back of the head or the groin. And the fun part is if you duck, you're actually pulling them in closer and guaranteeing those hits.
Yep.
So accept the fact that you're going to get hit, and then just hope you're not. That's how poi work. Does Lieriel allow the catapult to be set up? At least at some point.
She's just as terrified of that happening. She has all the same protests as like, please.
Even when the ships aren't sailing, when they're just like together at night, and the dwarven throwers are like, well, it's okay, we'll just shoot them into the ocean, not at other ships.
That's worse. That's what. How are we going to get them back from the ocean?
We've got little boats.
Fine.
It's softer
Like,
than a
with-
net.
Very, very reluctantly. Just, I'm more worried about people drowning. Like, is going to, like, whenever possible, send out, bright lights. Make sure that the ship is well lit.
The best swimmers are roped in, Azzy, if you...
Yeah. And it's
are
just
roped in as spotters and safety.
yeah,
And
the
they have a
entire
couple of little
time.
rowboats in the area and shoot people off the ship one night.
Looks like she's about to have like a heart attack the entire time it's going on.
You wouldn't want to join?
No, she does not want to join. She is very specifically watching and is like ready to. She doesn't know what she'll do, but she's ready to do something if something goes wrong.
Who would
Freak
join?
out, panic.
Who else would join the being shot off a ship?
Do I have? Is water walk a spell in this?
That would make things painful as you hit the water.
No, but it would make it easier to go find them.
Only if they're above the water, because you then can't go underneath it.
It is a thing, and I do have it. Okay.
But would anyone else be willing to be shot off a ship into the water?
Jojyre would be the first. Jojyre would be the first one to be shot off. He would say, "If the ringmaster can do it, anyone can." And then he's going to also, tie a piece of driftwood to his torso.
Before you go, Leafy's gonna cast water breathing on you.
And with a little bit of protections and some driftwood, the dwarven thrower says, "It's okay. Just think of it as a net, but it's going to be much more softer and much deeper. So just accept the fact you're going to hit something and just relax."
Try and make your point of entry like as small as possible. Then you cut through the water like a knife. If you go like this, you splat. It really hurts.
Okay.
The dwarves are like, no, you're supposed to spread out. That's how when you hit the net, you spread out.
Spread out.
Yeah, but I'm talking about water.
Oh.
If you're gonna land in the water. Oh yeah. Oh yes, it is. If you, because the net you don't want to go through the net, but you do want to go through the water. Because if you hit the water from high up, like if you fall a long way and hit the water flat out, it's like hitting concrete. It's just you know what?
Maybe the nets would be better.
Yeah, no, but if I'm just saying, if you are gonna go in the water, just make yourself like an arrow.
Okay.
I know it's kind of like a split decision. Like, what if you do it one way, the one way you're in danger. If you do it the other way, you're in danger. Just make sure you choose the right one for if you're landing in the net or the water.
Okay. Let me get into the canon first, so we can talk about this. Quick question.
Sorry,
though.
I probably made it more nerve-wracking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I understand the water part. It does hurt to hit it straight on, and I understand the nets. I have a question. What if I hit the ship?
Oh no, the ships are over there. We're aiming over here.
Oh, we're
If you
going
hit the
out
ship,
into open
then
water.
Yeah.
Then.
Well, there's no net then.
Exactly.
Well, if you do hit the ship, then Leafy Dell and I have healing magic. If that comes to it.
And if you hit the water, there's little boats there for you.
I'm gonna cast light on a coin, and I'm gonna give it to him. It's dark out, and just so we can find you easily, please.
Sure. He just kind of just pops it in his mouth.
I'd swallow it.
Well, that's going to be an interesting find in the sewers one day.
I mean, it's a full coin.
How big is a coin?
Medieval coins, anything from that to that.
Yeah, it could.
Big enough. Yeah. All right. Send me off.
And without further ado, you hear this loose, and the ropes creak, and suddenly you are thrust into the air, flying.
You just hear the most terrible scream just going all the way up.
That's the most terrible scream.
You see Jojyre in the air for a second. He's trying to flap his arms, but it's not working. So then he just tucks in as best as he can.
And hit the water.
Yeah, hit the water. Straight as an arrow.
Yeah.
Butt my teeth against the coin. Falls out of my mouth. So.
Oh. and the rescue boats quickly get to where you were, and someone dives in and gets you out of the water.
Perfect.
Fairly uneventful.
Uneventful.
Although next in line is May.
Do I also get water?
Who then gets pulled out of line, of course, by his sisters.
Oh.
Okay. It's like, are you gonna make me tell this child? Because I will.
I know you will. But unless there's other things going on, the rest of the journey is fairly uneventful. People are practicing. The animals are mostly kept below decks on all the ships, but people are practicing where they can, how they can, and there's no storms, there's no kraken. It's just a relaxing journey, after all the weirdness that you've gone through recent days.
Raise your hand if you're relaxed on this journey.
It is a false sense of relaxation.
I am
that
now.
tracks.
And the second half of the journey, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everyone, the closer we get, the less relaxed we are.
Everyone
Although
Azzy.
I think after a certain point, reading everyone else's disquiet kind of makes Azzy a little bit, oh god, what am I getting? What is gonna? I don't know what to expect.
When we start getting there, though, Lieriel is going to go up and watch the horizon, waiting for the city to come into view.
So in the morning, on your last day, you do hear the ship's bell and the announcement that the city is in sight. It's still going to be several hours before you reach the docks, but the horizon, the sun comes up. It's a beautiful, almost still morning, but there's enough wind just to slowly move the ships into the encroaching doom that is Escadar. It gets larger and larger into your vision over the course of several hours. You can see the naval yards, a mass of mega monolithic naval ships, just monolithic compared to your small chartered ships. And you see the city just sprawling out in front of you. No walls, but just buildings upon buildings upon buildings that have built up over the years. And forests around.
So that's a city.
Yeah, yep.
It's
Smells like one.
so much bigger than I expected it to be.
Oh, it's gigantic.
Boy.
Let's go. Oh, Azzy, make sure to hold
Oh,
our
for
hand
God's
in case you don't get lost. Make sure
No,
to hold
I
our
am
hand.
sticking by your side throughout. I'm not wandering off on my own, that's for sure. You can get lost for years in there, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you
Oh.
can.
Yes.
Okay.
Personal experience, you can be lost.
I was
for
kind of
years.
hoping you'd say, no, it's fine. I can't get lost. It's not that. But no, okay, that's.
You
no,
won't
all right.
if you're with. You won't if you're with us.
Yeah,
Well, me
sure.
at least.
Yeah. I only spent some time here. I mean, rather, I only spent my time in some places. As long as you avoid the places where I spent most of my time, you'll be fine. So you should be okay.
Okay.
Is everyone ready? I mean, what's the plan once we get in? We lay low for a few years, and then we slowly make our way around the outside. You know, moving, as corpses do. Just slowly just crawl our way to the edge of the city. That sounds like a plan to me, if anyone's down.
Now, if we're going to do it, we're going to go big. Let's announce it in a parade.
A parade?
Why not?
I don't think a parade would be
I
very
could
good for us.
probably think of several reasons why not. Do we not want... isn't the point we do want to attract attention, but we want to attract the attention of people who come and watch the show. We don't want to attract their attention, right?
Yes.
It is somewhat inevitable, but if we could island for a little bit, that would probably just setting.
I was going to say go big or go home, but technically we are home.
Oh, wait, going home is an option? Wait, no, this isn't our home. I just think that we should lay low, and then once we have a plan, a point of action, a solid foundation, money to build on, a very good show, and also some kind of magical treasure that lets us erase the memories of everyone present. Once we have all those things, we should be good. We should be good. I mean, honestly, it's not that hard. We already have like 2 of those 5 things down. So it's like we're 40% of the way, nearly 50% of the way. And 50% rounded up is 100%, so we're nearly there. Close, at least.
Now, I'm not very good at maths, but even I don't think that's right.
Are we almost there yet?
I have an idea. It's go big and go home. It's the homecoming show. Sorry, I tried to...
No, it was wonderful. We'll have to get space first.
Right. Yeah.
God, I don't even know where.
As the discussion happens, the Flamboni sisters come up and approach you. And as they speak normally, it's finishing each other's sentences and never talking over each other, but they say, last night the professor told us to inform you that we're going to need a warehouse in the docks, and he'll get that arranged, and we'll stay overnight. But you are going to need to go and get us permits. And again, how they speak is essentially finishing each other's sentences, starting and finishing constantly backwards and forwards. You get used to it after a while, but I'm not going to emulate it here with the software that I have. But it's a little bit weird.
We're the people who don't know about the Flamboni sisters. Yeah. To us, we're just used to it.
Yeah. Permits. A quick question. Lario, did you have any run-ins with law enforcement while you lived here? Would they remember your face?
Oh, no.
Okay, that's good. Mine's also like a 50-50, so we can definitely get permits.
Yeah. They are kind of in the same... I mean, everything's in the same... Oh my god. No, it should be fine. Well, and honestly, money does anything.
No, true. Alright, well, we'll make our way to Conclave Square whenever we can. That'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's close enough.
As the ships slowly start, moving into the harbour and positioning to like some empty space, so empty docks, and there's the shudder as the ship actually stops in the water and is essentially tied down to the dock. the gangplank moved out, and you're now home. You can see on the other side of the dock, the professor with a few people start like talking about, and says, "Did you get my message?" He calls out from the other side of the dock, from the other ship.
Just a thumbs up into a bird.
Hermits, come back to the docks. I've got some old friends. Should be good.
What? Sorry. What message was this? Did I miss the message?
I cast a message to the professor and say, "We've got it. We'll head to get those now."
Well,
I'm sorry.
ladies first. just push Lieriel along. Just ladies first.
Lieriel will lead the way. She'll lead the way. She'll take us, up St. Sarnax Street.
Yeah. I'll be right behind.
Leads into, the docks are crowded, bustling. Everyone's here and there shouting, selling wares, telling people to get out of their way when they're, wheeling huge carts around, things of that nature. And it leads through, and she leads you.
Can I get a perception check from people?
Sure.
For no reason.
Sure.
I wanted to ask.
Yeah, sure. No reason. No. No perceivable reason.
She leads
23.
you down the street.
With
this beautiful white monastery on one side, and into this town square with a few places to sit, and a grand statue at the center. Again, bustling with people selling their things. Just everyone is here. You see, armed guards, people in fancy dress, people who look like they've straight up just grabbed a rag and put it on them. And then leads you to very nearby this building that just looks like it has been built one thing on top of another, just a huge, ever expanding. When people try and add their own annex onto their house, and you can tell that it just does not fit with any of the other construction.
Like putting all the wagons which have been personalized over the years all together and saying, no, that's one wagon. That's what
rooftops are different colors. Siding is peeling. Some of it seems relatively new. Some of them have windows. Some of them are completely just straight up boards. It's.
You feel, Lieriel, you feel a tug as he sort of starts to just grab hold of the hem of your trousers and is kind of holding on to you. He looks very nervous at the sheer amount of people.
We'll just offer her hand.
Leafy would have had to leave Blueberry and the wolf back at the docks, so she's going to be sticking close to Jojyre.
Oh yeah. And then you see Jojyre. He's right behind Leafy. Actually, he's making her go first. you see Jojyre just kind of behind, I'm here. Where Jojyre's been kind of making himself as small as possible, almost as if he's just trying to blend in with the crowd, but he's just kind of pushing Leafy forward.
I can't see a thing. I'm just seeing legs and thighs and wheelbarrow carts.
You get used to it.
There are lots of taller individuals here.
And smells. Lots of smells.
There are seagulls everywhere. This is very much a port city.
I would say those fishmongers definitely don't know how to properly prepare fish.
Oh yes, no, be very careful. There will be people who try to tell you that rats are a delicacy. They are not.
They're not a delicacy.
As you see
they
a rat
are-
run between feet and into a hole in the ground.
They will make you sick.
I didn't show you that, Jojyre, because we just did catch and release. But there's a way to get fish out of the water and make it stay fresh for a week or two.
Are
This
you
stuff.
talking about salting or smoking or something? of the
No,
sort?
no. I'll show you some other time.
Oh yes. You should show me soon, actually. Once we get done with these errands. Leafy, a little bit this way. Okay.
Gotta
Alright,
catch
where
fresh
are we
fish
headed?
further.
Where are we going? Where are we heading to Conclave or heading to the warehouse? Where are we headed?
Conclave. Yes, Conclave. Professor's got the warehouse, and we'll figure all that out. We'll meet them back at the docks.
I'm sorry, remind me what we're doing at this conclave building?
Well, do you remember how we had that whole discussion about land and people owning it, and how that was rules and ridiculousness, and people wrote things down and made it law?
Yes?
We need to get permission to use an area for.
Oh,
you know, setting
no.
up circus.
No, I do get it. Because we didn't have it in writing, but with in Kobold clans, there's a group of organizers that they organize everything, and you gotta follow the rules and what they say. You gotta do this. You gotta ask for permission to do things if it's not what they're planning. And yeah, I get that.
So
That's what-
in Aberton, it was less of an issue. It was small town, but Escadar is a bit bigger. There's a lot
Yeah,
that
you
goes
can
on
say that.
there.
Just a touch.
We bring enough coin to bribe the people, or are we trying to get in with their good graces?
Well, I mean, I imagine that we always want to spend as little coin as humanly possible, but I've got a bit.
Okay, I have a little bit too.
Not
We have some to
terribly much,
spend for
but-
some of the planets. I have a sinking feeling that they're not going to want coin, but they're going to want us to do something. Something or another. Because that's always how these transactions go with people at the head of cities. We're going to have to get rid of the rat problem, or get rid of a some problem, or do something, or be somewhere, or do something or something. There's something
Kill
we're gonna
10
have to do.
giant rats.
problem.
The rat problem's impossible to deal
Darling,
with.
that is
At point,
not ever going
It's gonna
to
be something that they, we might as well just become one of the rats at that point. We should just choose the other side if they want us to do that.
Leafy, did you just say someone that you used to know? Walk past.
Leafy's gonna see see if she could recognize them.
You think it might have been someone from back in back when you used to work here?
Can she try and see if she can figure out who? Does she know exactly who it is? Or
You only saw it for a fleeting moment, but it felt familiar, like someone that, you didn't
like
catch
an old
them.
roustabout or something.
Yeah, an old roustabout, or maybe another, one of the other workers at this at the old circus. Not one
That
of the
you weren't
performers.
terribly close to, yeah.
yeah, she wouldn't have known a lot of the people at the circus, but
Yeah.
she's gonna try and get Jojyre's attention. I think I saw someone from the menagerie.
Where? Is it someone that's high ranking or someone that we can silence?
I don't know. It was super quick.
Well, I mean, if it's super quick, they probably didn't notice you. We are all currently looking around. But most of us are in disguise, so we should be okay. If you see anyone that you recognize, just tap. And he just kind of puts his hand on her, her shoulder. Just tap me, and then we will make our escape. So,
Okay.
should be good. Conclave. Okay. We're almost there, right? We're really close. It's been so long
Yeah.
since we've been.
Conclave Square is very close to the docks. It's a short walk. A walk, but a short one.
This is coming from the person that made the map.
I love this city so much.
So, Conclave Square is the place to go. You know that this is where you have to go. Like, this is where all the government, businesses, and everything is done. It's also where, essentially, you'd need to find someone to speak to get a permit to be a performer in the city. So, as described, it is essentially a bunch of how can I put it? A bunch of buildings which have just been added to over the years and combined into one mega structure, but there's nothing that's similar between any of them. Can I get a social role from? Is Lieriel the one leading this party in this juncture?
Leading us to Conclave Square?
With this part of the yes.
Like just through the streets, or like
Or
in
Socially.
Who-
saying hello.
Who's going to actually be
society
leading?
role.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can do that. I think that it would be a bad idea for me to be the one to ask for it, but I can.
Well, it's a society role, not social. Sorry.
Yeah, that's 13
Okay.
plus 2.
So I can't put my pin on. That's what I was getting set up.
Society is an intelligence skill.
Just following Lieriel behind her. Just
so
like,
13.
we look like.
You're not
We're
really
lost
sure who to.
ducklings.
Oh, actually, that might be enough.
To be fair, I really didn't. This was probably. I mean, I've been here before, but it was
You just,
decades ago.
you just don't know who to speak to.
Yeah. Well, maybe someone in city planning. They might know at least.
I would say for something like this, would be more performance arts. What is Escadar's? Does Escadar
we're not-
support the performing arts?
I mean, it has a menagerie. It has theaters. But like that's not here. This is
We're just
I
ask
don't think that they
somebody.
have
I
government.
Oh, and it has escorts as well. Like you used to be.
Azzy,
A woman walks past
not.
and just covers the child's ears and just like hurries them along.
So
this
the
is the
wonderful thing
circus.
about that discussion, Azzy, was that it was not in Escadar when we were having it.
Okay.
And preferably that discussion would stay not in Escadar when we were having it.
Oh, right. I always forget that you humans and other people are really sort of touchy about those kind of things. Sorry,
we talked around the chamber pot stays near the chamber pot. All right, that's just the way it works. It's the rules of the game.
But just
But we,
it's just
but we
like-
drank around the teapot.
It's just like something every living thing does. So I don't know why you guys are so like cagey about it.
Trust
But
me,
no, it's
Azzy,
fine.
I am absolutely on your side. It is complete idiocy that well, but you can be jailed for it, and I would much rather not be.
You can be jailed for that?
Excuse me, sir.
How
sir.
does anyone have
Excuse me,
kids?
sir. Sir. Excuse me. Hello, sir. Quick question. I'm new in town, and I'm trying to put on a few performances as part of a small performing group. And we are looking to see if there's any land, or rather, where would we go to actually procure a permit to set up?
Diplomacy, gather information check, please.
Diplomacy. 30.
Critical.
Hey.
It wasn't that hard, I'm sorry, Del, but
No,
13
no, all
just
good.
wasn't enough.
I mean, hey, if it was a diplomacy check,
Yeah.
I'd be better at that.
No, this is without asking, this is just
Yeah.
knowing,
Yeah,
And
no,
so,
I totally
yeah.
get it.
because you do have extra laws, like, just do it, not, yeah. Either way,
Yeah.
so, For permits for entertainers, you need to speak to the captain, also the chief constable, Indira Peldreen. And he turns around to the building and starts that's the door you want to go to, and just points to one of the many entrances.
Oh, perfect.
Do I
Thank you,
recognize
good
that
sir.
name at all?
I don't know. Do you?
I'm just wondering.
An
Escadar law?
Yeah.
is the question of do you?
Mm-hmm.
You have heard the name
Was that the
years ago, but you can't remember what for.
No.
You recall.
Was it the rookie?
You can't remember what for.
No. Okay.
You do recall a new constable being put in like recently.
Okay.
It was also around the time when everybody left the city, so
For another thing.
you had other issues going on. So it could have been that.
I would have asked the person too if the constable was new or not as well. I would have just been like, "Is this a new constable?
that.
I haven't heard his name."
Yeah, she's been there for about Aldira's been cleaning up the streets for about a year now. Done a good job rounding up the smugglers and bits and pieces. Oh, that is unless you're a smuggler.
No, of course not. I never smuggle. Recently.
Well, that's good. Wait.
What?
Sorry?
What?
I said recently I have heard that there was a new constable here.
Yes.
I just wanted to...
Yes, Indira, yes.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, good sir. I appreciate it. I reach into my lapel and take out what looks to be a small piece of paper and just put it in his pocket. It's like, come on, guys, let's go. And if he reaches into the paper, it's just a flyer for the circus.
On the flyer of the circus is a 1 free ticket? At least
No,
be
of
nice.
course not. No.
Not redeemable for a ticket, no. Of course not.
Yeah.
Because the
It's
customer's
a voucher
never
for...
right.
Yes. It is actually just a guaranteed seat, but with payment, of course.
God, yes.
I'm gonna tell Lieriel. Aldira, Paldine, ring any bells or anything like that, or...
God, it sounds familiar. I mean, there have been a lot of, guards throughout the years. I might know more if I see her. But
So, 2 years. I'll correct myself. Past 2 years.
yeah, I think she's pretty new. I'm trying to think of, I don't know, but I don't
She's been cleaning up
love
the
the
streets.
idea of that.
She's been cleaning up the streets. She's probably, she's probably straight as a square. Be easy. I don't think. Sinking feeling still. She's going to ask us to do something. It's going to be murderous or something of the sort. Taking care of business, of course.
Why can't we think the best of people sometimes?
Oh, this
Yeah,
is
yeah, good point. Good point. Where we are.
We want to think the worst of people so we can pay them money. But anyways, let's go. Lieriel, do you still want to? Did you want to try and convince Aldira, or?
I mean, I think in general people are more amicable to you, but I would be happy to if you'd rather I do that. You're trying to lay low.
I'm trying to. Trying. But as the new ringmaster, I have a duty to the circus. And I need all of you to owe me. So, fine.
Pay your
I will talk
debts
to her.
before you go asking someone to owe you.
True, but this is like intangible owing, so it's much more valuable than monetary owing. I'm getting into lots of emotional blackmail. It's been very good. How about we go?
All
Come on,
right.
come on.
So you enter, all of you, or 5?
I suppose so, yeah.
You enter the office, and I'm assuming you say, look, where, like, why you're there, etc. And you said, you informed this Indira is quite busy, and if you just stay here for, like, if you just wait here, we'll get you in as soon as she's free.
Thank you. I appreciate it a lot.
And you
I want to
essentially
say
give
it.
them some
Insight
seats.
check.
Insight check?
It's called sense motive. Thank
Sense
you.
Sense motive. Thank you.
It's called perception, actually.
Well, yes, you use
That's
perception to sense motive.
There seems to be nothing untoward that the person at essentially the reception says no. Like, the person is, like, she's busy, and if you wait there, they'll get you in.
Yeah.
That is
Are there
unless you have an
any-
appointment.
Are there any food stands outside or anything like that? Is the town square close enough to go grab something really quick to eat?
How much do you want to risk it?
I really want to leave, but no, I won't risk it.
You can go.
One of us-
I'm
A couple of us can go and do a food run or something.
yeah. I think. Can I ask the person how long do you think it'd be?
I'm sorry, I can't answer that. She's very busy. The chief constable
Okay.
is a very busy woman.
I see. So like 30 minutes to an hour, or
I honestly cannot say.
Jojyre?
yeah. What?
If you want food, go get food. We'll wait here.
Yeah, do it now.
Okay, I'm gonna get food. I'll be back. Does anyone want to come? No. Okay, perfect. All right, I'll be back. Well, Leafy. Sure. Come.
Yes.
Just gonna
Sticking together. Probably a good, just a few people, at least.
Yes. Leafy, we can finally figure out if you're a carnivore. And then I'm just gonna leave.
The three of us
Okay.
will wait.
So you're waiting. Let's
Yeah.
go explore this carnivore, shall we? Jojyre knows the city.
Yep.
Probably more so
I'm
than
going to
Leafy.
just-
Leafy has no idea what anything is.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be describing Leafy, at least what I know. So I'm just gonna be like, Leafy, so this is Conclave Square where we're at. This is where a lot of like the boring politics happen. I've only been a couple of times to steal stuff, so I don't really spend much time here. The biggest thing is that the town square is just a little bit to the east. So, you know, that's where the churches and stuff are, but a lot of the good stores are there. A lot of buskers, a lot of market stalls, things that we can buy with our money. And the biggest thing too is that around there is a good place to sit and just like, you know, relax, talk. And
Okay.
yeah. Oh, by the way, over there. Oh, well, it's just a little bit over there. That's where the jail and the courthouse is. And I've spent a lot of time there, but not as you would think, Leafy. Actually, it is very, very interesting. But before, Leafy, if you didn't know, I was a criminal, and there is where I went to jail a lot. I know. Impossible to fathom, but I used to not be a law-abiding citizen like Lieriel. he just can't keep a straight face as he says that. It's like, sorry, I'm talking a lot. How are you, Leafy? Are you good? Big city
It's
thoughts?
a lot.
Are you okay being down there? Do you want to get on my shoulders maybe to see higher?
I'm fine. I might just stick close to you though, so.
It's fine. It's fine. Let's see.
The
what shall we
cobblestones
eat?
as well is a bit different underfoot
Mm,
compared to, like, just dirt.
yeah. Because
Uh,
Leafy, much like Azzy, also doesn't wear shoes, but Leafy's a plant.
Depends on what road you're on, too.
Yeah.
Like,
It
there are
is.
main roads, and then there are straight up, like, big paths.
Yeah.
Be this still.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like,
Yeah, you wanted food?
Food, yes, and I want to see if there's any old friends I recognize in the market stalls. Just to see if, things have changed a lot or things have changed a little.
Okay.
If you haven't noticed, I know I've been really good at hiding it, but I'm very nervous to be in Escador right now. There's been a lot of things that have happened here, a lot of people that I may know, a lot of people that may want to know where I am, and a lot of different things are colliding all at once, and I'm starting to fall apart at the seams. But it's okay, it's okay. Food. There we go. Pastries? Pastries wouldn't be nice, right?
I'm okay if you just want to get something for yourself. Like, I don't really eat much food.
Well, we can try. I mean, if you know what? I'll get some for everybody. I'll get some for everybody.
That sounds like a good idea.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes.
Can I have and then he takes out a gold piece. Can I have as much as this will buy me?
Sure. Just pick what you want, and I'll put it in a basket or bag. And
Yeah. Yes, please. Do you have savory ones, or is it mostly sweet, or what is?
we have both
what are
savory
you
and
offering
sweet,
here?
and we can.
Yeah, just give me what you recommend, please. I really appreciate it.
She starts
Thank you very much.
taking from both sides of from the savory and sweets, and starts putting it into a small little basket, and takes gold eagerly. And you think, well, it's overflowing with food.
Okay.
You think you've paid quite a bit, but got at least what you've paid for.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
That's a lot of food. Should be good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I really love your work.
Please
Okay.
come again.
Yes, I will come
As you
again.
turn, you see a young tiefling boy setting up, like in the corner of the markets. He's about 14, 15, and you can see that he's red, he's very bright red skin and his horns, and you can see as he's setting up ropes, in a small area around here, between some of the stores.
Shall we watch? That may be a probable recruit. Maybe we can get some more main acts. For the
Yeah.
full 7.
Maybe let's see what's going on.
Sure.
He starts again. He's setting up, and he looks like he's a juggler. And you can see that he's setting up like a safety perimeter, and some of the passers-by just ignoring what he's doing, and then others stop, and then some of the kids in the crowd from the market stores probably have seen the act before, and they come and sit down near the front. He doesn't really speak to the audience, but just starts juggling some juggling balls, and you can see that there's fire clubs on the ground as well, ready for later. He's got some skill. He doesn't really do the charismatic approach to gather his audience, but an audience does grow a little bit over time, and certainly grows once the fire is brought out. But the strange thing is, at the end of the act, something you didn't see coming. He sets himself on fire.
Does it look
Just speechless. Just like
The
Does it
crowd
look
applauses.
Does it look intentional?
It does. The crowd applauses. And then from behind a stall you didn't notice, Danica comes out with a rug and puts the young child out. I'd say young, again, 14, 15 maybe. And she puts out a hat for everybody, and starts promoting Circus the Celestial Menagerie.
We should go.
Mm.
We should definitely go. We
Can I
should
have a
go.
stealth check, please?
We should go. Yeah.
Stealth.
Follow the leader.
Quiet
Follow
allies. Follow me quickly.
It is a
Unfortunately,
crowd.
you still went with the least stealthy individual.
Somehow, some way, yes.
Well,
20, like 5 with the bonus.
Yeah. And there's a crowd, so there's bonuses there too.
it's like,
So you see Danica come out and went, "We gotta go," and you just like slip between and disappear with your basket of pastries.
Okay, well, we know that they're active. I mean, busking, obviously, they control the busking market around here. Maybe a plan of attack. Well, actually, if we busk, they probably will attack us. So, there's a lot of different things we can do to promote our. Come on, let's get back. Let's get back to the place. Let's get back. Safety in numbers, all those things.
yeah.
Do you want a pastry, Leafy?
I'm not sure if I can eat it, but I can try a little bit.
I know I keep trying to push food onto you, but I'm just curious in general. I can bury it in some soil if you want, so you can like.
Oh,
It
I
may
don't
taste
actually
better.
like consume the soil. It's more like roots.
Yeah, we've got to get this. We've got to talk more about this because I don't know exactly how you. I don't know how you sustain yourself. In any case, I'm just gonna go find some easy place to refill our water skins and things like that, and I'm just gonna head back to. We'll just head back to the building.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just seeing if I can find a handout actually. But I'm struggling to do so. I'm sure I've got a handout somewhere though. So still waiting outside still waiting in the office. It's been about an hour.
How
From
long do
Little
these things
Escapade.
usually take?
Bureaucracy often takes a while. Patience is kind of the name of the game. It's all right. We'll get in eventually, and
I'm bored.
I mean, better bored than scared, right?
Yeah, I suppose. As he'll just start absentmindedly like making different shapes with water between his hands. It's like just turns into a fish, and then like a sun, and then like a star, and then just like different.
How complicated can those get?
Dunno. Give me what's a complicated shape?
Do a person? Do you think that's
Interact.
probably
That's fairly easy. I do just like a little stick figure.
all right?
You
But
know
what
how-
if you wanted to get more specific? What if you wanted to do Jake, for example?
I will. I kind of look at Jake. Look back to the water.
Jake moves into portrait mode like a silhouette.
I'm not. Can I? What would this? Let me make a performance check to see how well I do this.
Or maybe a spellcasting check? Potentially.
I would say no. This is more like because the spell casting is just shaping the water. It's more like
Yeah.
can I get the shapes right? 25. I'm not familiar with like what the DCs are per level because I know they change.
I'd
I
say,
assume that's
yeah.
yeah.
good
I
enough.
just kind of like I kind of like try and like make the different shapes. like the trick I learned is that you don't look at it like, you don't say, oh, that's a nose, that's a mouth. You say, oh, that's a square, that's a triangle. You like break it down to like shapes. And so I try and make like different shapes, but because it's just water, it's like outlines, and it's cartoonish. It's a caricature, but it's all right. It's recognizable.
That is incredible, Azzy.
And then it just kind of splashes. Ugh. It takes a lot of concentration though to get it that precise, and then you lifts the water back up from the ground and just starts trying different things again.
Maybe a key next time?
Don't go trying to replace me now.
That's an interesting point. Can you pass me one of your keys? I promise I'll give it back.
It's all right. I have to take a few off the ring anyway. Passes you one of the keys from the Hermitage.
Or actually, could you just like hold it in front of me?
Yeah. Hold it
Okay,
up.
I will try and copy the shape of the key, and then when it's as close as I can get it, freeze the water. What would you like me to roll for that?
Thievery.
Thievery.
Yeah.
That's not so good, but
That's
makes
how
sense.
you're trying to replace me. So you better make the same roll.
22, considering I have a +4.
It was either that or possibly crafting, because you're kind of crafting something really delicate.
Crafting's even worse.
Yeah. So that were my two thoughts. That just came to mind as a GM.
Mm-hmm.
But 22 is you get pretty close. So
I wonder how well it would hold up.
Um,
To be fair, I imagine that this key probably, given its magical properties with the door, would be a bit more complicated, but...
One is
Yeah,
binding, two is holding.
I kind of
Would
like
I
pick
get-
the frozen key and then just I kind of like tap it,
Yeah.
and then it shatters because it's ice. Yeah, I might need to work on like trying to make the ice harder.
Mhm.
It's
Well,
just
you're
an
welcome.
idea.
I mean, I've got manacles that lock, so if you want to try playing with that key and see if you can get them unlocked with it, you're more than welcome to. Just
Yeah, let's
let me
try that.
know.
I mean, it's something to pass the time.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I meant they're back on the ship. They're with all my things, but in
Oh,
the future.
okay.
Yes, oddly enough, it throws people off to see not a guard carrying this around, and generally, oh, I'm an escape artist, doesn't immediately stop them from seeming so concerned. Or an aspiring escape artist, at least.
Nothing aspiring about it. You are an escape artist.
Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway,
What,
the others arrive. I will
yes.
also say, you heard the name of the performer, of the child performer. He was announced as Matchstick Flynn. Matchstick Flynn was the tiefling performer. So, and
I wonder if he's in our recruitable NPCs.
And the other performers arrive. It's been a while. It's easily like maybe an hour and a half, probably even going. Time just.
We
keeps
are
going.
here. We've arrived. And I'm going to bring out the basket of pastries and say, "We've arrived. Hello." Just
Yes.
Hi, we're right here.
perfect. Yes, of course. I'm just talking like this because I just wanted to know you heard me. Perfect. All right. Well, here are the pastries that I brought for everyone. The food. There's some savory and there's some sweet. And can I talk to you really quickly, Lieriel, or something like that, maybe?
All right.
Perfect. Perfect. Enjoy the pastries.
Are you like dragging her off?
Yeah, I'm just gonna like drag her off a little bit.
Just oh gosh, hopefully we're back before. Jake
Yeah,
knows what we need.
Of course, of course.
What?
Have you seen the constable yet, or no?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. It's been like an hour and a half. They still waiting?
I mean, it's been like an hour and a half, and it took you that long to get food.
Yeah, but we're taking our time. I was showing Leafy the sights. Well, the major thing is that we looks like Menagerie, they are still doing their busking. They have a lone performer out. Then they have the first of all, they have some new recruits. Obviously, there's a new one I don't recognize, Matchstick Flynn, a tiefling that plays with fire, much like our own near and dear to heart to us, Jake. But I don't think Jake can light himself on fire, at least without repercussion.
I mean, as far as I know now, there might be a spell or something. I'm trying to think of anything.
It was a
that might-
tiefling. It was a tiefling.
Yeah,
I know
that'll
that
do it.
tieflings aren't completely fireproof.
No, not entirely, but to be fair, that is that's Dusklight for you.
Yes, I know, but this kid is only like 15 years old. He's a kid.
Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that.
Oh.
Totally professionals here. No one heard a thing.
Hello.
You didn't see anything.
Not a thing. No.
They didn't see anything. They heard something.
That is
Jedi
true.
mind trick. It's all gone.
Yes.
Anyway,
Sorry about that. Yeah. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Let's go. Straight back in. So yes, the time is just going on and on and on.
As
2 hours.
Jojyre was saying, it was a kid.
It's just a kid. He's lighting himself on fire. The menagerie's up to no good again. The major thing, Lieriel, is that I just. Are we going to be fighting this for real? Or is this going to be just something that we just show them up once and then we leave?
Look, I wouldn't have wanted us to go here if I didn't believe the professor when he said that we needed to. We can't afford to go anywhere else, but we left people behind.
I know.
This is
I
our
know.
chance to get them. I mean,
I know. But we left them behind because we had to, okay? And that's the thing.
okay, but that doesn't make it better.
It's not making it better, it's just making that we had no choice. I'm just saying that we have a choice now to make it better, of course. But this only ends one way. Either the Circus of the Broken Chain collapses under the pressure, or we make the menagerie fold. One of the only two ways that we actually have a way out of this, because as it stands, we're going all in right now. Really, we are. We've escaped once. A fluke. A little bit of luck. A lot of preparation. I don't think we can do that again. Can we? Or do you think...
I mean, I want to say yes. I can't. I think about them every day. I think about this city every day. And if I don't get to come back here for a little while, I get that, and that is fuck, that's growing up. But if there's something that we can do to help them, and we don't, were you serious when you said that you were thinking about leaving before? Doctor.
You know me, I'm always serious.
That wasn't an answer.
If I had to err on the side of yes or no, then it is a definite maybe, of course. I mean, fine, yes, of course I want to leave. Lario, you don't know what the city means to me, what everything, who I am or who I was before all of this. And he kind of just gestures towards the 3 little kids we've left at the couch, and just kind of says, "You have to understand that before all of this and stuff like that, before, becoming heroes and saving the world and all that crap,
Not heroes.
Well, I beg to differ. We've saved a whole island, so we are, in a sense. Well, okay, maybe not heroes, but we've done stuff. We've done things to help, and it's given me a lot to think about. Like, I was afraid that everything would be the same as before. Not even everything would be the same. But maybe that's because we didn't do the right choice, or we didn't make the right choices, or we didn't fight hard enough, or something. I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on. But maybe this time we choose to fight, and we choose to push, and we choose to do something, And I mean, I'm just asking this person to person right now, Lario. Are you okay with us aiming to... Well, I'm not going to put it lightly. Are you okay with the Circus of the Broken Chain completely annihilating the menagerie and taking all of the customers and recruiting all of their members that are still good people and just putting an end to the Dusklight era? Are you okay with that?
Yes!
Is that something... Okay.
Jojyre, if I thought that we could have done that a year ago, if I thought that we could have done that 2 years ago, or 3, or 4, if we can do that now, that is absolutely what I want to do.
Then
Are
it
you
shall be
okay
done.
with that?
Am I okay with that? It doesn't matter what I'm okay with. I'm telling you.
It matters to me.
I want everyone to be happy. Number 1. Number 2, I am okay with that. Very much so. And number 3, I said I was gonna go all in becoming a ringmaster. And that night when I had that thing, it's because I was afraid it was going to be the same. But if we do things that aren't the same, if we make sure that we are fighting, then yes, I'm okay with that. I'd rather go down fighting than just
You
be...
realize that's why we thought you would make, why I thought at least you would make a good ringmaster, right? I looked at everyone in our circus, and part of it was me. I mean, it couldn't have been Jake. We needed him for the show. Couldn't have been Mordain, because it would have been more of the same. But you are different. And we needed someone different.
Different, yes. I am different. Okay, you know what? I'll tell you this right now, Lario. I will do everything in my power to make sure the Circus of the Broken Chain just kicks the menagerie off the face of this planet. of this plane of existence. I will make sure that all of that will happen. But on our way there, I'm just going to have to ask you to trust me.
I do.
Yes. But please, you're going to have to trust me.
I wouldn't have suggested. Again, I mean, I wouldn't have put you up for ringmaster if I didn't trust you, and I know that that can only mean so much given everything, but
Okay.
of course I
Just
trust you.
saying. Alright. What I do from now on is just for the circus. Remember that, okay? Alright. Let's go enjoy some pastries, shall we? Pastries! Yes, I love pastries. They are so delicious and yummy in my tummy. Yes,
How
of
can
course.
you be such a good liar and so bad at it at the same time?
I choose who I lie to. It is what it is. Is it time
How
for us
many
to
of-
talk?
How many of these did you buy? There's so many. I'm getting a stomachache from trying to eat my share of it.
I mean, there's some good ones there, obviously. I've not tried any of them, but I know that there are some good. She recommended a lot of good ones,
Well,
savory, sweet.
The rest are yours. I'm getting. I feel kind of sick.
Where'd you get them?
From a market stall in the town square. Yes. First one we saw. Longest line ever. Yeah, actually, we waited there for almost an hour and a half just to get those pastries, actually. Super long line. And they were super busy, and they had, I only got this for like... Okay, I did spend a gold for this basket, but
You spent
she-
gold on pastries?
it was a very good place. She seemed like she had a really rough life, and she seemed like she had a rough time, and there were a lot of customers, but looks like she was making a hard time making ends meet, so I had to, swoop down and pay a go. Here, try this. It's good. They call it a blueberry claw. It's very good.
We could probably bring some back to the circus.
That sounds like a wonderful idea, Leafy.
Do you really want little May hyped up on cream puffs?
Honestly, yes.
Do you think she'll feed one to the dog, not to the wolf?
Oh, she'll certainly try.
I'd advise against it.
A constable enters the room that you've been waiting in after all this time. It's been a long time. And he looks down and says, did they provide you pastries? Oh, wow, you must have impressed someone on the way. Hi, my name is Dericus. I was asked to go fetch you. And are you here to, are you performers? Is that what's going on here?
Yes, we are performers. And these pastries were given to us by the good people of the city for helping them solve many of their issues.
Oh, you must be amazing performers to be given free pastries and free food.
Oh yes.
I wish they treated us like that. We get treated just like, oh, it's just another god. He's just trying to bust us for this. Oh, they're so.
Yeah.
Would you like one, Dericus?
If you're offering, I mean, I'm on
Sure.
duty, but really, it's like
Are you more of a savory or a sweet person?
doesn't really matter. Just they don't really give us food here. It's just like
You know what? Take both and decide which one you want better.
he just eats one, like bites one, bites the other, puts one in his pocket, and just starts munching. Yeah, my name. My name's Dericus Starlet. I was here to go fetch you. We might try to sneak you in for Andrea. She's a bit busy today, but we're just trying to get you in so we can get you out the door. Sorry it's taken so long. By the way, it's taken about 4 hours by this stage.
We'll try to be quick.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
We just needed a moment. It's fine.
Oh, then perfect. It all works out in the end. Isn't that what they say? in
Works
some
out.
performances?
Yes, of course, Derek is there. Is that name? It rings a bell actually to me. Perchance was one of your ancestors a hero in Fable, maybe?
No, nothing of the sort. But if my name rings a bell, wait, have I arrested you before?
No, of course not. This is my first time in the city
Okay.
in a long time. A long time.
It's okay. I'm sure you're an upstanding citizen. After all, you're a
Oh,
performer.
yes, of course. Yeah, we're performers, and we help citizens, and we help do a lot of different things. We moonlight as volunteers to help build homes. It's very nice.
I don't know where the fuck that came from.
Will is like, oh no, they're gonna ask us to do things, and then in character is like, hey, here are all the things we've done. Just ask.
Sure.
You're literally asking them to ask us.
He takes you. Darius is very talkative, as you might have noticed. He takes you through the building, and it's not just one building, but you notice like the styles of the building change as he goes through different corridors, and like you seem to have like gone from one building to another, then maybe to a third or fourth. Like the styles and the architecture, and even the levels of the floors and the sizes of the hallways seem to change as he navigates your way through. He starts pointing out like pictures and things on the walls, and he'll start explaining like the Navy and stuff. It's like there's a big tradition of having the Absalonian Navy stationed here, and he'll go through a little bit of history of the place, because you've said that you're new to the city and you've never been here before, of course. And he knocks on the door to a
Before we get there, can I ask him about the general perception of the menagerie at the moment? Just want to ask about that. Like, we're performers. We just want to know about what other performers are in the city at the moment. The managerial position. What are they called again?
So we don't do gossip around here.
It's not gossip. No. I just wanted to know.
That could be seen as taking favors. We don't do gossip around here. This is not a street beat. This is the office beat, and like we sorry, I can't help you with that. No.
What if I gave you another pastry? I just wanted to know if they were good or not. Have you seen them before?
Again, I wouldn't comment. I can't comment on such things. Sorry about that.
Derek.
It could be seen as taking favors. Like
fine. How about this? After we talk to the constable, and after you're off work, how about we go get a beer and we just talk about different things. New in town. Show me the best places to drink.
Maybe it's best that we don't keep Andrea waiting, though.
Sure. It's fine. It's all right, Dericus. Enjoy your pastries. We'll see you soon.
You seem to have put him into a position where he's like, I can't. He seems to be a pretty above board type of person, and he knocks on the door of a wooden door. Knocks and then opens the door and enters with you. And inside, you see, I'm just trying to find it. This circular office, panelled in rich brown wood, contains a writing desk, shelves stacked with records, a row of chairs positioned near the door for the visitors, yourself. A framed painting of a kestrel in flight hangs in place in prominence above the desk, above and behind the desk, of course. A metal stand to the west displays an ornate falchion and a battle-worn breastplate polished with brilliant shine despite all the dints from age. A small muscular woman, human, sits behind the desk dressed in a dark blue uniform with a golden badge of office pinned to the left shoulder, that of a kestrel once again. A shield-shaped badge bears the engraving of an osprey with a fish. Okay, that's the... Yeah. The woman listens intently to an individual who is sitting across from her. The man sitting across from her is in a striking royal purple suit. Only a few buttons... Royal purple suit, only a few buttons and ruffles shy of garish. The woman's hawk-like gaze darts to the door as she holds up a hand apologetically to the man in purple as you enter. Thank you, Delma. Thank you for bringing that issue to my attention, the woman says. If it's at all... if that's all, though, it appears I have another appointment. And she... Delma... Daricus enters the room and offers you the chairs near the door, and goes and stands behind his chief constable at attention. And Andrea, the chief constable, says, actually, Delma, if you mind, could you just stick around, for this, I'm sure it won't be long. And I think we'll go to a break there.
Alright.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
The official break, not
is
the one
fun.
where we had the busted bits. And for those new, the break's going to be about 5 minutes. Sorry, about 10 minutes. Won't be long. And we shall be back and have our second half. And I've given our players something to read for how this encounter is going to play out. So yeah, we'll be back shortly. Stick around and enjoy the sounds of Syrinscape. I'll get the circus music set up, and we'll see you shortly. So, bye.
In a sec.
Bye.
And we're back.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, hello, hello.
So as we left before our break, our circus performers entered the chief constable's office. And this comes to a how can I put it? This is a social encounter, so unlike most just social interactions, this is an actual encounter. And as such, we need an initiative and a turn order.
Oh boy.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to our main map and bring you onto the main, so just like the entrance area. So you can click on your tokens and we'll actually bring up a turn order. And there you go. So in this social encounter, you can use diplomacy, deception, whatever you think is you're going to be your main motivator or main drive for this interaction. And we go through an order of that on how you actually do your argument.
Emi, you rolled perception, not initiative.
Oh, I was like, why didn't it go through?
Because it's always like,
Oh, thank you, Jojyre. I did not want to go first.
Oh god.
Yeah, we needed to.
Jojyre going first makes the most sense.
It does, yes. All right, good job, you liar.
I don't want to lie. I'm just good at it.
I'll be right back. I've just got to get something because I've lost my notes.
It seems like you do want to lie. You rolled deception for initiative. You could have rolled diplomacy like Jake and I did.
No,
So
tell me
that in
diplomacy
creation
worse.
of this situation, I have somehow deleted the originals.
Oh no.
I made a handout for the players, but deleted the originals.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Which is why you
whoops.
should always have a physical book. Which is what I've been reading up anyway, because that's what I do. I read the books for to make sure I've got the right one. We'll get the order. So Jojyre, being Jojyre, of course, I believe will be going first in presenting
quick
the
question.
argument. Yep.
Yeah. Are we just going to be doing one round, or is it going to be multiple rounds?
It's turn order. You have to convince this woman that you are, well, worthy of being given permission. And
Okay. So it might be multiple rounds, is what you're saying. Of
Yeah.
turn order. Okay. Sounds good.
and I mentioned this on break, but not everyone heard. As per conversations, they flow. So if you are not ready when it comes to your turn, we will have to skip.
Okay. That seems fine to me. Alrighty. So
And
we
so
walk in the door.
you choose, roll, and then role play.
Yes, role play off kind of what your argument and role came out as. Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. Are we just going to go right back into the scene then?
Yep, straight back into the
Yep.
scene. Yep.
Okay. I'm rolling diplomacy, at least for the beginning.
Okay. So 29 out of 20.
Hey,
what-
hello.
And what action are you doing? Are you trying to sway, support, demonstrate talents, or discredit?
I'm just going to do sway.
Okay.
It's going to be a sway right now. I was like, hello, Andira. We are a traveling group of performers, and all of us have really, really wanted to perform in Escadar for quite a bit of time. And we finally mustered enough funds, we mustered enough gumption to come to Escadar to come and perform. And we just wanted to be able to actually perform, of course, with your permission. It'd be really nice. Because for a lot of the performers, it is their dream to perform in Escadar, a large city.
Okay. Next.
I will support that argument with diplomacy, so let's see how we go for that one. Yep, nope, that's not good.
How do you fail your support?
Jake starts to talk, but then trips over his feet. Actually, no, I can't do that because that's acrobatics.
Oh no.
Oh no.
If I may make a suggestion.
Please.
Well, it's big. It's not as big as Absalom, or
Well, it's not
since
the...
you're failing.
Yeah, since I'm failing. Since I look at Jojyre and say it's not as big as Absalom, you sure we can actually... You sure we don't want to go to Absalom first and come to here? That's my turn.
Okay. Next is in the order, Leafy.
I'm gonna try and I'm gonna try and support for diplomacy. I bring it down by 2 because of I'm cute, and I also can't critically fail.
Okay.
So
you
their
don't
opinion
critically
of
fail,
me-
but you still fail.
No.
So how's your failure of support there?
Well, we've heard a lot about the city, and yeah, it's gonna sleep back.
Into the
You did great. Just look at her, just like, you did great.
Lieriel.
Well, let's
This is
see
going
if we
great.
can't. Yeah, let's see if we can't turn this around. I'm also gonna do diplomacy. I think what they mean is we have heard a lot about this city. We've heard about its inhabitants. We've heard about all of the great things that have, been coming for these past few centuries. I mean, it's a relatively new city. It's a wonderful place to sort of be immersed in the culture of the entirety of the world. And that's what we hope to bring here.
And finally, at least for this round, Azzy, what's your argument?
I'm gonna roll performance when it goes through. Come on. Oh, 28. And I just say, well, I can show you something I've been working on. And I will, having been practicing for 4 hours apparently, bring out the water and then make a sort of a miniature version of her in water. And then, because I've been practicing so much, and that's a high roll, I start to like animate it, like it's like give it a walk cycle, and just.
Does it go from T-pose to walk cycle and back to T-pose?
Yeah, no, it's just. And then I'm really concentrating though.
Delma says, "What? These people lie to you, Chief. Like, Chief, they've been in the city before. They come from the Circus of the Broken Chain. They're the ones that caused all the trouble in Abberton. They're the ones that caused all the destruction in the church in Abberton. And they're from the city. They are the ones that escaped their contracts with the previous circus they worked for. How can you trust these people?" We'll go back to the start, shall we?
You bitch.
Oh boy.
I am going to roll.
I also get to roll too.
Okay, you get to roll too.
Which I did.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to roll. I'm going to try and let's do some deception. Let's do some deception. Let's just throw it in there, 31, it's all good.
Critical success.
I'm sorry.
This Delmar person, certainly there's something there. Yeah.
Oh,
Nodding
I can
outside.
easily tell. I'm sorry. We are new to the city as the Circus of the Broken Chain. Some of our members actually came from the city, of course, and they're the ones that pushed to actually come to this city because it is their hometown. Even look, and I just point at Lieriel. She is from the city, born and raised, and also she loves Escadar. And I'm sorry, but the biggest thing
I'm going to play a card
Mhm.
and turn your critical into just a success.
Okay.
Rude.
As the
Oh, by the way, I have one card fewer than I should.
Okay.
So I got 3 stars and I got 2 cards.
I'll get that sorted.
If these are gonna be relevant,
As
to
you
this encounter.
feel like something, as you start like in your starting your spiel, something's knocked, like your chair is like moved like from under that, like, and just like a little unsettled, yeah.
Sorry, sorry. The chair almost took my life. No, I'm sorry, but the major thing is that we left the circus, we left the menagerie, because for us, the menagerie was not right for us. The way that they treat people, the way that they did things in the menagerie was not what we wanted. And as the new ringmaster of the Circus of the Broken Chain, I was the one who wanted to leave the menagerie. I was the one who wanted to push and make sure that everyone that came under my wing was okay. And that's why we want to come back here to Escadar, to show the people that we are here. We are the Circus of the Broken Chain, and we care about our performers, and we also love the city. We want to change people's lives through the art of performance. I mean, even look, Azzy, the hydrokinetic kobold, is one of our premier acts, and he wasn't even in the menagerie. He is a new recruit, and he loves us because we treat him well. It is something that we take pride in. A very, very good work culture. That is our pride.
Andrea looks just annoyed. Says, young man, you have a very flowery tongue, but I don't have much time, so keep it short.
Of course.
Okay.
Jake.
That's the Jake.
Yep.
That's your first warning.
Okay, well, I'll do circus law. I'm gonna try and discredit the thing. Please roll well. I can do that.
Nice.
How you discrediting though? What's your...
Taking the lead from Jojyre, I will go, well, we here at the Circus of Broken Chain believe in workplace health and safety. As in, you know what the menagerie do, even busking, setting children on fire, for example.
On fire.
Fire? I work with fire. I work with fire every day. And that's dangerous. Imagine if he tripped and hit a building. It doesn't work well to have half of the town on fire.
Where's your proof? Says the man in purple.
You can go in. Did I actually hear about the? Did you actually say that out loud to the rest of us?
I would have told everybody.
Yep. Okay. Just in the square today, we had someone on fire near a building without relevant safety material. They were, how far away were they? Directs to Will.
Oh,
well, Jojyre.
They were literally within. We were eating pastries at the moment. We were enjoying our very nice dinner, our very nice lunch, and I could literally take a pastry from my mouth and touch him with my hand. It was ridiculously close to the civilians. It was a danger.
Exactly.
Daricus, Daricus, the person that escorted you in here, leans over and says, Chief Constable, I can assure you that we've had no reports of any injuries or any issues with the circus that's currently in the city and the shows they put on to promote. We've had no reports of any issues from that. And
it just takes one.
And I've been assured that it is just done.
It just takes one person to have an accident.
Can I finish?
Anyway.
He
no, you can't.
Yeah.
Can I
put a hand on Jake's shoulder.
Chief Constable, I've been assured that it is merely tricks and visual trickery of how they do it, and that the performer is quite happy to do it. I've even spoken to said performer before, and I believe his name is Flynn.
Leafy?
I want to make a roll to. I can't remember. I don't know if it'd be sway Andrea or discredit, but I want to make a roll to basically ask her to let us explain what if she would give us time to explain everything that was happening in
I'll give you this reaffirmed warning that Jake's flowery tongue, his big speeches was warned to be quick. So
you mean Jojyre?
So Jojyre's flowery long speech.
Jake has a big tongue, not that flowery.
Yes. But as in, you don't think that she's going to give you much time.
Okay, I'm going to.
6 hours, just 4 to 6 hours, just for this face to face.
Can I do? Okay, can I do a society check to discredit the claims against us?
You can try.
Yeah. Okay.
The claims against you have also coming from from this man in purple. He seems to be at least somewhat informed about Abberton.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Don't think you can use rerolls. Hero point reroll.
I'm going to use a hero point to reroll. My dice is being
bad.
I mean, yeah. Also the DC is too lower for me.
The DCs are 20, but for you it's 18. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a pass.
There's actually a lot that's, in terms of Abington, there's a lot that's been at play. To keep it short, there was some issues with a local group summoning demons and things, and we actually stopped one of them from destroying the church as best we could and further damaging the town.
And Delmar's like, but it was you that damaged the church.
No, there was
You in the church
it
when
was
it got
all-
smashed up. and
it was
wrecked.
already damaged when we arrived. We stopped it from we stopped the demon from doing it to the rest of the town. If we left it alone, it would have wreaked a lot more havoc.
You feel like Delmar's really annoyed by that argument. As in GM's perspective, I could have pushed, but I'm not going to push because you spent a reroll. Because you went that far to push that argument. I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
You can see like the to and fro is also like the chief constable is moving to and fro from like where the opinions are going.
Yeah.
Lieriel, yeah. What's your like?
All right. I'm gonna diplomacy again.
Diplomacy, what though? What's your swaying, supporting?
Oh,
demonstrating?
supporting. You know what? I only have one, but I'm gonna use my hero point too. I'm gonna. Oh gosh. No.
That's even worse.
As it goes. I mean, he's right. I am from here. I grew up in Apple Grove, but I've spent time in the Woodworkers district. I mean, I know the city up and down.
See, criminal.
I mean, everyone has, had to pass through there once.
It's a...
That was me failing. I am a criminal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and diplomacy. I'm gonna try and sway her.
Mm-hmm.
When the check goes through.
Mhm.
Why does it take so long?
You're in UK. I'm over here. That's why.
17. I'm gonna re-roll that.
Wow, using up those reels. If you're watching live, you can donate. Every donation.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. This card is actually useless for me because I don't. So I'm just gonna get rid of it.
Yep.
That's better.
That is better. Yes.
I just kind of look at her and I just try and make myself look as not as cute as Leafy, but just as cute as I can, and just like, listen, Mum, we've traveled a long way, and we really want to just put on a good show to make people happy. That's all we really want to do, is just try and spread a bit of happiness to, take people's minds off some of the, the bad luck that they might be plaguing their life. Isn't that a simple thing, but a joyous thing to want to do?
And with that, Delamar, the man in purple, says, see, they admit it. They just want to put on a show and distract people from what they are doing behind the scenes. This one here, the new ringmaster, admits that he killed his previous ringmaster when they escaped.
What?
In Abington before the first show, and took his place, no doubt. It's probably even his own coat and everything. Yeah, I'm going there.
Oh my god.
This person seems to be informed.
He knows so much, but he's not the best liar in the world.
He's not.
That's not me either. So I'm going to use
Can I cast
deception.
lightning bolt on him?
You have the chief constable of the city guard in front of you.
And you've just been accused of murder.
Just
Just Will. Back
I'm
to the
going to
turn.
use-
Start of the turn order.
I'm going to use deception for this one. And I'm going to try and sway. I'm not going to try and discredit. I'm just going to try to sway her.
Okay.
Will's using deception. I didn't kill the
I'm going to
ringmaster.
reroll.
We all
Reroll, please.
By the way, the argument is getting one-sided with that part. I'll give you that
Yeah,
warning.
it
This is
is.
your only reroll too that you're using.
Mhm.
Mm.
22. Good enough. I'm okay with this.
Just.
I'm just going to be like, previous circus master, the one that died, was one of the people that founded the Circus of the Broken Chain. You will not use your filthy mouth to try to discredit me, because I loved him. He was like a father to me. I wear his coat because I honor his memory. He was murdered, not by any of us, not by me, but by someone. Somebody killed him. And we've been looking for that certain someone for a very long time. Now, let me ask this then. We escape the vice grip, the cruel hold of the menagerie. We try to make something of ourselves. We try to go to Abberton to make something different. And our ringmaster is murdered. Why would I murder him? He was a father to me. Why would I do any of those things? Why? It's besides the point. We want to perform in Escadar. We want, and I'll say this right now, we want to do better than the menagerie. Because we are better. We are people. We are trying to make the world better. Like Azzy said, we are trying to make the world better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
You
tap on his shoulder.
Mhm.
You just
She's already
It's
looking
alright,
elsewhere though.
Sorry. Didn't mean to. It's just the way I talk. I'm sorry, Constable.
We don't have much time left. Anything else you want to add? I have another appointment due.
Okay, I would roll diplomacy. If we're onto my turn now. Cool. It interests me the fact that you know exactly what happened in Abberton, and we probably the first boat back from Abberton after we solved all their problems. So tell me, discrediting. Sorry.
Yep.
Society or Circus Hall, would that roll still count then?
Yeah.
Okay. How would you know that we're in Abberton? How would you know that our circus master died in mysterious circumstances, and how would you know everything that happened there? I'm honestly asking an honest question. How would you know?
So are you accusing me, a fine, upstanding citizen and merchant?
Yes, I am,
of the
actually.
city, of ill dealings?
Yes, I am. You're a merchant. I don't trust you. And I don't trust every word that comes out of your mouth.
I'm sorry, but I live in the city. I work in the city.
Yes, you
I have
live
people
in the
that
city. You
employ
work
this.
in the city. How do
I'm
you
not
know
a
what happens
traveller.
in a town that's not in the city? You would have got information from somewhere, and the information could be wrong. How do you trust this information you got? And that's my turn.
It's getting personal. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Leafy, you got
Um,
anything? Or you going to move on?
I'm just gonna do a diplomacy to try and sway.
Swaying. Yeah, back to swaying.
Yeah. Diplomacy. My diplomacy is so bad.
But it's not a quick failure again.
Please, we just want to perform. We're not looking to cause any trouble.
And
Hey. I will
Think of
roll
the
my,
economy.
25% back if you book something at Victoria at the moment.
They're right. All we want to do is perform. We want to put on a good show for the people of Escadar. We have water acts that will appeal to the Low Islanti citizens here. We have acts with animals, with fire, with acrobatics through the air. We will put on a wonderful show for this city. I promise you.
Final thoughts?
Yeah, I will try and support Lieriel's argument.
Of just wanting to put on a nice show.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that that's not my sound effects. That's, I'm guessing,
That's
Emi?
Nope.
No, for the birds?
Nope.
Oh,
certainly not me.
probably me then.
Okay. It's not my
It's-
sound effects, the birds. Usually it is.
It's as I said. It's as I said. We just want to work. We want to bring some money to the city. We want to lift people's spirits so they can work harder. I'm just appealing now to your heart. We just want to do the right thing. We don't want to make any trouble. And we just want to put on a good show. I'm trying to like just really play the heart, play to the emotions, play to the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Delmar has one final argument. What's happening is you're going up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's moving quite fluidly, but we've been going backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. So instead of keeping this going, this will probably be the last.
Cast Warrior's Regret on him.
Well, technically, it could be guilt, glimpse of redemption, or weight of guilt.
No.
Can I use that in social combat?
Delmar says, look, these performers are just vagabonds. They broke their contracts for their former employer. They cannot be trusted. They've told you lies to your face that they're new to the city when they're not. They've now admitted it. They've had misadventure and misfortune surround them in Aberton. How can you let these people into the city? Trouble follows these individuals. We've already got a performance troupe in the city, and they have done exemplary things into the city. There's been no issues at all. I don't understand how you can let these people in the city and give them permits to work for and just do their thing when you know that it's just trouble's going to surround them. And with that, the other person, Daricus Stallot, leans over and says, you have been trying to clean up the city. You've done quite well in having more unknowns come into the city, which are possible troublemakers, could upset the balance of the city and all that work that you've done.
Streets. No.
The Chief's Constable, Chief Constable Andrea Paldrine takes the added advice and says, Delmir, can you please just give me a moment. I've got some things to. I'll speak to you at some other point during the day, I'm sure. She stands up as he leaves, walks over to the side of the room and pulls out a scroll, lays it down on the table. It's like, against my better judgment and those of my advisor, I will agree to give you a permit to perform and even have a plot set aside for you. But there will be conditions. Just looking at the dice and how many I've got left and which direction they swayed to. I believe, well, the conditions are that all performers have to pay tax to the city, as they must, and I believe a 20% tax of all performances will be paid to the city. On top of that, I think your first performance, I think 7 days should be ready enough time to ready yourself and to get prepared to start paying back the city for this good deed. And a plot would need to be set aside. And she just rolls out a map of the city. And you can see, like, there's not much spaces in the city, and you can see prominent the area where you once lived with the circus menagerie. But off to the side, and her eyes drawing along the trail and a track, about a mile north of the city. Here should be a nice area for you. It's not where you can cause too much trouble, but the citizens will still be able to visit and attend your shows. And we do need someone to clear the area. Don't worry, there's water source there, and so you should be able to feed your animals and be okay for that along things. But 7 days to clear the area and get set up before your first show, so you can start paying back this. Well,
Can we have a look at the map and know what we already know about the area?
For those that have been in the city before, it's essentially a mile out of town on a dirt track, which you haven't really needed to come across before. There's some, like, on the map it's listed that there's a river, or like that there's a river nearby, and and water source. It's between like two cliffs, so, and that's marked on the map, so you can see that like wind's not going to be an issue or anything like that. And there's some forest around, but there seems to be a clear enough area, like an area large enough for the circus, the big tent, all of the performers' areas behind, all the living areas, all the animal areas.
Expanding
but it
outward a
does
bit,
also
I'm sure
mark
that
on
will,
the map uncleared land.
yeah. I'm sure that will help with, spreading out the population a little bit, maybe reducing crimes. I'm sure you're hoping to.
City is a gem, and it is. Thank you very much. We appreciate it a lot. My only concern is that when we do put on our show in 7 days, this mile of dirt road, is there a possible way for us to make sure that the citizens that come to see our show are safely able to traverse this 1 mile dark road? Because my concern is for the citizens, of course, just to make sure that they are safe.
She looks at the Daricus Stollis, and he just smiles, and she says, "The city surrounds are quite safe."
Of course. Then, if that's the case, we will gladly agree to these conditions. The one thing I want is that Daricus, right?
Yes.
Will you be heading these protections for the citizens going down this road, or are you? Will be able to keep a personal eye on us is the major thing I wanted to ask, because we want to show you that we are here not to make trouble. We are here to make people happy.
And she pauses for the moment before he can, and just puts a hand up and just stops him to make sure that there is no trouble being made. I think I'll send Darius with a contingent just to make sure that you're not smuggling any illegal goods through the city.
Naturally.
Perfect. Naturally. Well, Daricus, you're stuck with us for a while, and I hope, well, we will enjoy your company.
She
It's a big
turns
wide
to him and
grin.
says, "You've always wanted to get out of the office. Yes, I've heard those. I've heard you moaning and groaning.
Like a pastry?
He pulls the one that's been in his pocket out and just. But she catches him and quickly puts it back.
Yeah. Thank you very much for meeting with us. I think that's all we wanted to talk to you about.
We won't take up any more of your time.
Thank you.
As you stand up and leave, the man in purple's at the door. And he just, there's that, almost that sneer, that look of, you won, but I still don't like you.
You know what Jake's going to do? He's going to give him a pastry. Here, have a pastry. And just walks by.
Yes. Make sure to tell the menagerie that Myron sends his regards. Just gonna walk past.
Just
Azzy
smiling.
just kind of glowers at him, but if he kind of looks back, then he kind of just scurries away.
It's now late in the day. It's...
That guy, like, gaslighting was actually, like, triggering me a bit.
Sorry.
Just, what an asshole. What a fucking asshole.
That's the idea. Sorry.
I know, absolutely. But just, like, ugh. It's too real.
Were you there? How do you know?
Were you there? Well, we have a whole night ahead of us. It's late in the day. Tomorrow we'll probably be moving. I'm gonna ask Dericus. When shall we go head over to the plot of land before we leave, at least?
You can head over now. It's empty.
Shouldn't we let everyone else know?
Yes,
Yeah. How
I
about
think
tomorrow
it's
morning?
a little late. But we will head over then. Did you want to join us throughout the entirety of it?
He has to stay here. I think the chief constable meant that at some point I am to do a surprise inspection.
Well, we
Oh,
look
I
forward to
see.
having you around. Hopefully we'll be practicing at least by then, so you can catch some of the show.
Of course. And whenever you want to come around for a drink, my door is always open to you, Dericus. We just want to show you that we are... We are...
We want to be as transparent as
Law-abiding
possible.
Exactly. And then I'm walking away. I was going to say no criminals. Thank you. Just kind of stretching, just like, all right, we have a whole night ahead of us. Should we go back and tell them all? Have a party?
Yes.
Sure, yeah. I think I need
just-
something relaxing after that.
Because it's right there. I'm gonna stop in the bank really fast, but I'll be soon after you.
Mhm.
Just slips off to the other side of the town square.
Do we need a scene, or are you just fetching something?
Dropping things off.
Okay. So no scene needed, but
Yeah.
There's a history. Banks are always there. Banks always will be. So you arrive at the docks. Most of the carts are like, you can see where like the warehouse is that the professor has arranged, because you can see the carts being essentially put back together, getting wheels put back on and things like that, because you can't really store them on a ship with wheels because they move and everything. You can see the animals around. You can see Bardoff. Like, probably the first of the performers that you see is actually Bardoff. And you see, like, as you're approaching, like, you can see the warehouse down there, and then you just see, like, this Bardoff just, like, sniffing around a cart, which smells like fish.
Bardoff.
And he looks up, and then goes back to sniffing the cart.
Bardoff, let's go get you some dinner.
And you begrudgingly,
I-
if your bear can, starts moving away from the fish cart.
I'm gonna have a look at the cart.
It's an empty fish cart, but the smell
Yeah, see, no. Properly prepared fish wouldn't smell this bad.
No.
Surprising no one I've met knows how to do it.
And just
Point is
lumbles
to
off
make
with you.
coin.
Yeah, Leafy just goes off to go feed butt off.
There's a bit of excitement around. There's children around, and there's less dock workers late in the day, but there's children as other people that are like, wait, is this a circus in town? Is this like there's new people? And it's like, and so there's a little bit of that anticipation, but at the same time, it's like you also get the feeling that like you're being watched.
I mean, if there's children just kind of like looking to see all the animals and stuff, I'm just gonna go do like very simple sleight of hand magic with all of them, with like a couple of coin and silver and stuff like that.
So you're going to steal
Very
from the
simple
kids.
sleight. No. It's my own coin. I'm just saying that it's like behind your ear, it's in your nose, it's in your eye. Hold on, wait, it's actually in your eye, and then I'm just gonna just like, oh god, and then I'm just gonna, just kind of do a little performance for the kids, just to, just so that as long as they all say ew in unison, I'm fine with that.
I don't have that sound set, so
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well-
We can all do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Ew.
I've got that one. But there's work going on, and if you need any, like if you don't have any scene needed now, we can move to the next day, or like the professor. You can tell the professor without any issues, and
There was one thing that I wanted to do that night.
okay.
I'm just gonna find Leafy. Hey, you have mending, right?
Let me double check.
I'm fairly certain that you do.
Yeah, I do.
Do you mind making sure that Jojyre's rapier was all fixed up? And I'll see if I can't put something a little bit more powerful into the fork and try and get that. Just I'm gonna be prepared for whatever we might encounter.
Yeah, I'll go find Jojyre then.
Thank you. And then I'm gonna go find Jake and
Yeah.
Jojyre will be having tea with Jake. He's gonna actually he's literally seeking Jake out to have tea with him. Yeah, that would.
so we
definitely
go
be it.
like we part ways and then we're like, wait, no, we're going the same way. They're over there.
Yeah, I think Jojyre would have gotten to Jake to have some tea with him for like one of the first times, but obviously he would have found Azzy first to bring him along. Three of us have a little tea party for sure.
Azzy was literally just doing a little bit of fishing off the side of the dock.
Perfect. I haven't had tea with Jake ever, and I know that you and him are kind of tea buddies. I've never had tea with him. Maybe maybe I've borrowed tea bags sometimes, but those are for other reasons. So, you're his tea buddy.
Yeah.
We should have a tea
one
party
sec.
with Jake at least.
And hold on. I pull a fish out, catch it. Hold on. And he just quickly just sort of pulls out a couple of tools and just starts like he just spikes its head, cuts the tail and gills, and like he runs like a small metal wire up the spine, and then back. There we go. That'll keep for weeks now. And puts it all away.
That's how you keep it fresh?
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
Oh my
because
God,
if
that was magnificent. I mean,
because what you do if it's moving around and it's sort of flopping and you just chuck it in a water like most people do and let it suffocate, it gets like stressed, and then the stress makes the meat taste bad and go off quicker. But this way you kill it quickly, so it doesn't suffer. Then you just like run the thing up its spine so it doesn't have any like spasms or movements, and it's just it'll no stress and the meat will stay really nice.
I see. You need to teach me how to do this because if I'm going to be starting this hobby of fishing, I need to know how to do the best ways from an expert fisher. Is that...
And that is an actual Japanese technique called ikejime.
Is that wire? Something that's...
Yeah, it's
You made
just like
yourself?
steel wire. I know I didn't make it myself, I found it.
Oh, you found it. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I cleaned it.
You know, funny thing is that I've had a few kobolds in my... I've known a few kobolds and they also use wire. Very interesting.
Really? For that?
Yeah.
For that or for something else?
For well, you know how lot of, well, some kobolds I've met are very industrious, I'd say. They
Oh,
love
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
things and stuff like that. Right.
Yeah, I
Steel
was
wire
never
is
one of the...
my favorite.
I was never like a crafter. That was never
Oh.
my skills.
I see.
just, yeah, like I said, I just repurposed this from like a snare I found. Anyway, we should get to going to Jake's.
We should definitely go to Jake's. Jake! Jake! Where are you?
Are we in our cabins or are we just in the warehouse?
It's essentially just warehouse. Like the wagons are put together, but everyone's just like, well, you've got wagons, or you can just like sleep communally because like it's a bit crunched.
Yeah. I would say that Jake would be in a small corner with a communal teapot, just having some tea. However, his tea would look a little bit more, he's fortified a bit with whiskey.
I hope
Jake did not have a good day.
Jake. Azzy wanted to have a tea party with you, and I wanted to come along.
Sure.
I'm sorry, I'm
Just-
lying again. I don't know why I lied right there. There's no point in me lying there.
It's
I
force
wanted
of
to have a tea
habit for
party.
you. Okay, well,
I know.
It's
I don't know
a
why.
defense
I don't know
mechanism.
why. Something like that. Something. But no, I wanted to have a tea party, and I've had tea even though we've known each other for so long. And I wanted to bring Azzy along because he was fishing, and I was just slightly embarrassed that coming alone might mean weird. It might have been weird if I came alone to ask you for tea one day. So
Why would that have been weird? I went alone just to Jake several times, dozen times.
I mean, but I've known Jake for almost how long has it been, Jake? It's been
Oh God. We've known of each other, but we don't normally travel in the same circles. I was normally performance. You were normally front of house and customer
But we've been-
service.
acquaintances for almost 10 years? A little bit
At
less than a
least.
decade? Yeah.
At least.
So, Azzy, it is very awkward for me right now. So I just want to say that I would like some tea.
sure.
And shall we just enjoy this tea party?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Do we want to play teapot, or are we just hanging out?
Unless Dell wants to come in, L'Oreal.
We'll do it.
I
we'll
think
do it
I'm
on a
good for
party day.
tea.
Yeah,
This-
so eventually, unless you had something else, I think the L girls make their way over. Leafy and Lie.
Yeah,
Is
so
there something in this tea, Jake?
it could be whiskey, vodka.
Oh, did you? Here, you can finish mine then.
Oh,
I've decided not to drink anymore.
no, that's in Jake's tea, but he has a little flask next to him.
You didn't put it in like the.
Oh, you
Oh,
did,
God, no.
did you put it? You didn't put it inside
Okay,
the tea?
cool.
Okay,
That's fine.
Okay,
That's fine then.
okay. Then we're
No, he
fine.
fortifies. He puts in his own tea because having
He wants it, but
having everything been called out by the other guys, like, you've peed me off. It takes a lot to pee me off. I will make it my
That
mission
was-
to pee you off.
That guy was awful. What was his problem?
Probably in the pockets of Dusklight. They're probably long lost lovers or something. I don't know.
Oh, it's so gross.
He probably has so many fur balls.
Yeah, just furballs and furballs everywhere. I'm pretty sure he wears purple and not black because all of her fur probably gets all over his clothes. So that's why he's run out of clothes and only has that awfully fitting purple.
I think
thing.
next
That's
time we
probably
see him,
the
I might give him a lint roller. So yeah, there's a bit of hair on you.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I'm sure they have a very close
Ugh.
relationship. Great tea, though. Great tea.
Thank you. I think this is one of the last ones we got from Abberton.
Abbott's
what they
makes
say?
good tea.
Apparently.
Interesting. Interesting.
Oh,
well,
hi Leafy, hi Lieriel.
Hey.
Jake, could I see the trident thing?
Oh, yeah, I would pass the trident over. But I know
Oh.
that got damaged.
Jojyre, is your rapier all fixed up?
it's still a bit worn. Yes. Why?
I can use mending to help fix it.
Oh, that would be great. I have decided actually that if we do get into any scuffles or trouble or murderous rampages, I'm not going to be using my rapier anymore. I think
Oh?
I can't risk it. It's near and dear to my heart. I can't risk it anymore. It almost
Get
shattering.
another one?
I'll
For
figure
the
out
time
something.
being, here,
Yeah.
and I'll pass you the other dagger.
How much bulk does it have?
Thank you. The rapier has, I believe it is bulk of 1.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
think
I'll
it's
use a
one
level
bulk.
2 slot.
And I'll check for the
How damaged was the fork?
I will get back to on that because I'm just trying to find out the information now.
I know that I have to use a level 3 because it is magic. But
Yeah.
How damaged was the rapier?
The rapier, I believe it was like, it was pretty damaged. It was about 75%.
you used the oil of mending on it though too.
Yeah, I did heal some HP from it. I know that it was
So
nearly
it would have
broken.
been
It's about halfway, I think. in HP.
So I restored 5 HP then.
per spell level. So you restored 10, and
Okay.
it would have had 10 restored by the oil of mending as well, because that was a second level.
But more than enough.
So yeah,
Okay.
I think that's
Thank you, Leafy. I appreciate it a lot, actually. It's,
No problem.
no, it means a lot. It really does. Very important to me to have this.
Also, Fighter's Fork was bulk 1, if you want to know that.
that doesn't matter. It's because
Yep.
it's magic. Yeah, I knew it was 1 bulk. I just need to know how damaged. I'll drop 2 into it. I have the spells. It's the end of the night, so I'm sure
Yep.
that 30 probably brings it back up.
Oh, yeah, easily.
So.
Okay.
Right. Well, see you all in the morning, and I'm gonna go off and find something to do.
I mean, you can join us if you
Yeah,
want.
I know.
It's a tea party.
She's
It's open
gone.
invitation.
She said, "See you in the morning," and then is gone.
Oh, I guess she didn't want tea this late in the night. Leafy, you want to join? We're just having a
I'll
nice
stay
conversation.
and talk.
Cannibalism?
We've already had this conversation.
We had this
Mhm.
conversation so many times on tea.
So many times.
I'll just stay and talk and have some water.
Sure.
And we
Well.
spend the night talking about what's going on, how we want to approach the next day, and eventually we'll wrap it up, I think. Unless anyone's got anything they want to say.
Oh, just keeping it chill. It's funny how after 4 hours of doing nothing, you don't think that'd be draining your energy a lot, but it really does. I'm so tired.
It is. Doing nothing is harder than doing something. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I've mastered doing nothing. Well, it is getting late. I'll probably sleep a little bit, take care of some errands, and then I'll go to sleep. It's nice tea. Appreciate it a lot. Azzy, teach me how to fish and do that little wire thing, if you can. That'd be great.
Sure, yeah, it's really easy.
It looks easy, but things are usually not that easy. Alright. Have a good night, everybody.
Night.
Jojyre's gonna leave. Yep.
In the morning, you're woken up early by a lot of movement and a lot of the preparations for the parade.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The parade is a simple one. They've got any musicians that they can spread out throughout the wagons. They've got a lot of the roustabouts that are essentially positioned to keep all the animals in control and moving throughout the city. One thing of note, though, the dwarven throwers have removed the top of one of the wagons and essentially have their catapult up on one of the wagons, and it looks like it's been, well, it gets taken down, but it looks like it's active this morning. It's readied. And you see just barrels around that same catapulted wagon. Or weaponized wagon.
What is this for? Are we attacking the menagerie today, or what is this? What's happening here?
Is it? Oh, it was the little girl's idea. It was what's her name? The May.
May, yes. She wanted to plant a bunch of explosives somewhere? Or wait, what is this for? What's happening? What is it for?
Well, she wanted to throw flowers at everybody, or shoot flowers up into the air.
You not do that with your hands? Just
We
I
have
do it with your
have-
hands when you've got a catapult, says the dwarves.
we
because
have
you don't want to.
magic. We have
It's dangerous when there's innocent people all
We're
around
not shooting
us.
the barrels. The professor wouldn't allow us to shoot the barrels, but just
Yeah,
shooting
obviously.
handfuls of the flowers.
I
just
say
shoot
no,
them
because
straight
the can could fall down and hit someone on the head. It could hit a child on the
No,
head.
no can, no barrels.
Handfuls.
Oh,
not
handfuls. I thought you said
Handfuls,
candles.
put on and through, loose, everywhere, explosion, pop fury.
I can do that with just a blast of wind. That's
magic. You see? We can do this with magic instead of taking an instrument of war into somewhere.
But it's
not.
promoting our
It's not a good look.
Can we fill the basket of flies and catapult it over near the circus where the menagerie is?
It's promoting our act. You can do it with flower. You can do your stuff with magic, sure, but that's we want to showcase what we can do, and that we've got a catapult.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I suppose.
I'm invoking Ringmaster's right. I'm invoking this right now. I'm invoking
Ringmaster's
Ringmaster's right. The right to veto. I'm going to veto this until we can get permission for it. We are on thin ice in this city. So we need to talk to our supervisor to make sure that this is okay for us to do. Will you wait for me at least?
Supervisor, we're leaving in an hour.
Will you wait for me at least to clarify? I'll find them lickety split. Do not use it until I come back. I swear to Callian. Do not use it. Telling you.
We're leaving in an
Jake's
hour.
like, you've been swearing on my god a lot.
Don't use it. I'll be back. And he just runs off to go find Derekus.
Oh boy.
It's going to take half an hour just to get to...
I know. still running off.
And it took
running.
4 hours to see.
I just need to see
he's
Derek.
looking for
I don't need to.
Derrickis.
I'm not looking for an
True.
actual constable.
But this is also first thing in the morning. Like, the fishermen are up and about. The docks are starting to move. This is really early in the morning.
I mean, fair enough. I'm still gonna go.
You go to the office of bureaucracy. It is closed.
Derrickis! Are you here? Are you here? I'm gonna yell out to the windows. I'm gonna yell up, Derrickis, please!
Didn't you just say we're on thin ice?
People are walking past you, like getting ready for the day, and they're just looking.
Derrickis Stallet, where are you? I
Will,
need
why
you.
don't you try holding a boom box above your head and throwing rocks at one of the windows?
I'm literally yelling full volume for Derrickis Stallet.
Do you
Stallet.
believe love?
I'm literally yelling for him in front of this building. And I'm saying his full name every time I'm yelling for him.
How are
Oh
you?
my god.
How long are you going to stay in there?
I do it for like 20 minutes.
Okay, no answer.
At this point, I gave up. But Derrickis wasn't supporting us in the argument, so you know what? It's fine. I'm just gonna make his life hell. Derrickis, Derrickis, Stillwood,
And
where
you're
are
invoking
you?
Witch God?
Are we? So we're 10 minutes to go, and you're nowhere to be seen. He's like, what's going
Yeah.
on? Are we doing it or not? We gotta wait for him to come back.
Well, it's time to do it. Let's go.
Yeah.
And you can see things starting to move out.
Lieriel's gonna be back with the Featherfall kids,
Mm-hmm.
sort of staying around them, keeping an eye for Mordain as she always does. But
Mordain has a cage strapped to, like on
Yeah.
display on top of like the wagons. Like, 'cause it's not just one wagon, but like the escape
Yeah.
artists would have multiples for everything. And there's a cage and there's escape. There's banners and everything. Unless you've been active in this, there's no banner displaying Lieriel at all.
no, there wouldn't be. Even if there shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm. But
No,
like
Lieriel is not.
but all her stuff is out and about and shown.
Lieriel doesn't have stuff.
Hmm.
Like Lieriel has been. Yeah, Lieriel doesn't have stuff yet.
Yet. Is there anything else, like anyone else doing anything or?
Oh, Jake would
Leafy's,
probably be.
Leafy's with the animals as always,
Mm-hmm.
guiding them and
Yep.
Jake would probably have
As
a.
making them look friendly.
You
As you will
walking
be
with
doing-
Bardolph
I put them.
and
I
the
put.
bears
I
and-
put flowers on them.
Oh yeah, yeah. You
I
can
did
walk
or
with
May
Bardolph
did.
as well.
Shapes.
Mm,
As you will be doing water
yeah.
shapes.
and double. Yeah.
Jake would have safety poi with, instead of fire, just ribbon.
Oh, the Flamboni sisters are out doing.
All right then.
Yeah.
If that's the then I'll be using my safety poi, my safe fire poi,
Your non-fire fire.
my non-fire poi.
Yes. So everyone's essentially doing like just showcasing what they can do, at least on the move, and it takes a few
Yeah.
hours to get out.
You
To the
want to
city.
save the good stuff for the actual show.
Yeah, but there's some tease, and
Yeah.
by the last of the wagons and animals leaving the docks is when Jojyre arrives.
I couldn't find Derrickis. I yelled after him for almost 30 minutes.
Oh,
He wasn't
like
there.
the party's already in. the
Yeah, you're
wagons
just
ahead.
talking
You
to like
you turn up
some of
at the last of the rustabouts. Like
I will talk to the rest about it, and it's like,
who?
where'd everyone go?
That like just follow
gone
the
already?
conga line.
Oh shit! Okay, all right, come on, we've got to go. And then
We
just gotta
are.
just run.
You gotta run to the front of the line.
We're
I'm
talking
gonna
about
run
like,
to the front.
almost a mile of like possession of people and like animals and everything. Like over 100 people like work on this circus, especially when you add in the roustabouts. A lot of animals, a lot of people, a lot of equipment. And is anyone going to stop the dwarves?
I'm not.
I don't think Lieriel knows what's going on. Lyriel's been with the Featherfall.
Leafy doesn't know.
I'm not there.
Well, you like flowers are thrown into the air,
Okay.
shot into the air. Then
You know, Jake was there.
How loud is it? Just
Jake's
how loud
leaving.
is it?
it's as loud as a catapult going off. So there's the mechanics of a catapult.
Yeah.
There's not a massive explosion. But
Terrible, yeah.
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 But certainly there's like something going on, and you can see back or forward
Yeah.
where it's happening, of like the flowers being shot up in the air and slowly floating down. It's not very often.
Yeah, I'm sure that May goes like, that was my idea, and Lyriel is just proud of her.
I'm strangely proud. I don't know. Who's at the front of the procession? Who's going to be the first to arrive?
If Jojyre's running to the front,
I would get there late probably because you guys have already started the parade.
Yeah. It's slow, but that's a
Azzy would
lot to
I
watch.
don't think Azzy would be the very front, but he'd be near the front. So it might end up being that he's actually at the front thinking, oh, Jojyre's meant to be in front of me. I don't like being in the front.
yeah.
So, Azzy's the first of the PCs to reach the location, the plot. The area is easily accessible from the city, but the road itself, once you're out of the city, is overgrown. And as you're going up the road, like there's certainly forests close by and it opens up into an overgrown, a badly overgrown clearing, full of brambles, and as he notices straight away that smell of stagnant water somewhere nearby. That smell of swamp nearby.
Oh, this is not so pretty.
But it's big enough, if you can clear away all the brambles, to hold the big top and to hold everything. You don't have to cut back the trees, it's just clearing away all this overgrown.
Oh boy, we have some work to do. I just kind of, given probably this far out of the city, there's no one like still watching. So I'm just gonna kind of like settle down and just wait for everyone else to catch up.
Which takes a while. And everyone is faced with the, oh shit, they've put us into this place. Not really a place that even if you've lived in the city, you would have even known about. It's just an overgrown
I would have
clearing.
known that there was forest up there.
Yeah. Like, why would
about
you
it,
even
yeah.
bother? Yeah. It's one of those, why would you even bother?
Yeah.
And there's cliffs, which, again, will at least shade you and protect you from any big winds or any bad weather. But that smell, Azzy's probably Azzy and
Jake.
no, actually Jake doesn't.
Jake.
Azzy's the one that
Jake
would
has-
smell it the best.
No, actually, no, Jake
Well-
wouldn't smell it because it's blunt.
Yeah, he's got a
Oh,
blunt.
okay.
He's pug nose, so he's got that, anti-poison pug nose feet. So his smell is actually worse than others. But yeah, there's
Does
that.
Leafy have a nose?
Does Leafy even have feet? I mean, she's not drawn with feet, but she's drawn with a nose. So I'm assuming yes.
Is she drawn with a nose?
Yes, it just turned up.
Okay.
She
Little
is.
button
Aw.
nose.
So
Does
that's,
she have
that's what you have.
nostrils?
What does Azzy smell? Just the stagnant water? That's it?
Stagnant water.
Okay.
Like it's somewhere close by, but at least there's water close by.
Oh.
Well, There's no time like the present. He rolled up his sleeves. I've cleared land like this before. It's gonna take a lot of hard work. So,
How how healthy does the land seem, like, in terms of like just like like how healthy is it? Like what sort of
Well, that's the problem. It's overly healthy. It's overgrown. Like it's not super lush, but it's overgrown and unattended, and it's just, I mean, thorns and brambles, and it's horrid. Like, it's going to take a while to clear.
Okay.
And we have 7 days.
And you have
Great.
7 days to put on performance.
Oh god, we better get started.
Well, we're far enough out that the rats won't be much of a problem.
Who knows what else could be out here no other than just rats? In
True.
a swamp,
We're
maybe
lacking a food source now.
maybe big rats.
We can go into the city. Let's get to work, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna deal with that water, and just try and get that flowing so it's not so stinky and stagnant.
I might go help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my best to not have to do anything and just be a manager looking over the restabouts. Just like, just making it look like I'm working.
You there, pull this weed.
Pull this weed over here. Oh, that looks like a very valuable plant.
As the wagons and everything start pulling up, they're essentially pulling up at the edges of the clearing near the road, and they start unfolding. Like, the first thing is to essentially unfold pens and whatnot for the animals and whatnot, and then the discussion is what we're going to do next. But as you can see at the edge, at the edge of the clearing through the brambles and whatnot, there seems to be maybe a trail or 2 trails to the south. Like one to the south, one seems to have like a log across it. It's mostly blocked. When I say log, I mean a fallen tree. It's pretty much blocked. The other one nearby seems to be a bit more open.
I'm going to have a look up the open path.
Down the open path, you can see that there's certainly, you're getting closer to where that smell is. When you look down the open path, you can see that it's a bit more wider, it's a bit more cleared. You can see a fallen log, which seems, you can just see, oh wait, there's where the water's where the water is, and there's a tree that's fallen over. It looks like it's going over the water to almost an island, and you can see the remnants of it.
It's blocking the water from flowing.
No, it's over the water.
Okay.
Oh, it's like a bridge.
Yeah, it's acting as a bridge.
So the water's
Okay.
not flowing?
No.
What's blocking it? Is it just because it's a pond? Is there no outflow?
You think that it's like this is just brackish water.
Maybe there's something downstream?
Is there any entrance or exit to this pond, or is it just like a stagnant pool?
Well, you're only seeing from the distance here.
Maybe we should head down and have a closer look.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go have a closer look.
Yeah. Leafy goes with. I'm gonna have Blueberry with me as well. Now that we're out of the city.
I can do this. There you go. So I can have 2 people on the map.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a map.
Where is it?
Yeah.
I'm looking around, see where are we?
It's all black.
Oh.
Oh,
okay.
that's because I dragged you onto the wrong vision one. There you go. You've got some vision. Should be now.
No.
Still
Oh.
black.
Yeah, still black.
Do tokens have vision?
Yeah, I'll just drag you from the other ones. So, it's been a while since I've just dragged off that, but so let's do the other way of doing it. With tokens, I'm pretty sure should have vision. There you go. Does that work now?
Let me refresh.
Anything?
Nope.
Really?
No, it's still completely black. Yeah. I'm refreshing just in case that makes a difference.
Let's do that too.
Yes, I refreshed and it works.
Oh, okay.
No, that's also because I gave you night vision and did all that.
Oh.
because it's apparently all set to night. There you go. There's some vision. It's not amazing, but there, cool.
I kind of peek through. Can I see if there's like any movement? I didn't realize it was like a forested area. Now I'm getting a bit wary.
Yeah. So the forested area, you can see like down this path to the south that goes to the south is where you can see where there's a log that's... I'll move you down to see that there's a log down there.
I've also got blueberry with me. Hang on.
Yeah. Oh, you want me...
What?
But you can also see that there's a side path that branches a little bit as well.
Yeah. Can I try and make a perception check to see if there's anything dangerous in this forested area?
If you want. Why would I be hiding
want.
something like that from you?
Oh, gee, I don't know.
Why'd you put them on a map?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
there's a map? Why not? No, you don't see anything
18.
untoward.
That was too quick.
I don't
Know the number.
trust it.
I
I don't see
still
anything,
trust
but it doesn't
him.
mean I don't still worry that there might be something that I haven't seen.
Why is Leafy's icon but slightly bigger?
That's because I played
think we
the
should
icon on the
probably-
other screen. Yeah,
I
done.
think we should probably get the others first.
I didn't expect it to be so far into the woods.
Yeah, let's get Jake, Lieriel, and Jojyre.
Yeah, you can get
think we
them
might-
come with.
Might need some backup. I think I see ruins
Yeah.
on the island.
Oh,
Anyway, we go. I go and get the others.
Yeah, Jojyre's been faking that he can't move this really large rock for a long time, so he's just been sitting next to it, just like. And then if you just come over, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, everyone." Duty
I
calls.
didn't realize I didn't realize you were training for a strongman act. We need to help.
Oh, very. Of course. Sorry, everybody. This rock may have to stay for our act. Unfortunately, it's impossible to move. I think it's actually been put here by literal gods. So, yes, Azzy, what is up? What's going on?
There's a creepy dark forest, and I don't know. Leafy and I wanted to check it out, but we didn't want to do it alone, just in case something went wrong.
Okay, perfect. Well, since you've come for advice, I would say let's leave the creepy dark forest alone, and let's just ignore it this whole time. That sounds good to me.
Well, we got to clear it out to make if there's something threatening in there that could attack us in the middle of the night, we want to make sure that's dealt with first, right? Also, if the swamp stinks, then people aren't going to want to come to the circus if the swamp stinks. So that does need to be cleared out. You can't just leave it.
Is it blocking the water source? Is that what's going on?
I don't know. I'm going to go find out. But again, I don't want to be snatched up
Fine.
by some wild animal and taken away, and no one's there to see me disappear.
Fine,
You know?
alright. Let's go get everybody else.
I'm only
Fine,
little.
fine. Yes, you're little and delicious, of course. Where's everybody?
the little guy.
Lieriel
Okay.
is helping out. As much
Jack
as she
would probably
can.
have Jake will probably have his vest off, helping out the rustabouts, doing some of the initial setup work and trying to do as much as they can about the smaller brambles.
For
Yeah.
the sake of brevity, I grab them all and lead them back to the forest.
Thank you, Brody. Thank you. Should have vision, should be able to see things now. Should
Yep.
be on the map now as well.
Top left-hand corner.
Do you see anything dangerous here? Any monsters? Any large
I
creatures? Any smelly lizards?
No.
I didn't, but I don't know. It's hard to see around the trees. But should we head in?
Sure, we should. Well, we shouldn't head in, but sure, shall we?
We kind of have to.
Go have a look at the water.
All right, up. Let's try to be quiet. Make sure we don't alert a large lion that lives in here, maybe.
Okay,
I don't
okay,
think
sure.
there'd be a lion.
There was a large lion in the city before, so it could be anywhere now.
Right.
Is it wrong of me to say I wanted to launch the...
If you want us to be quiet, do you want to lead the way then?
Sure, just follow me. I will lead. And if I die, just remember, don't touch my stuff.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead and do quiet allies. And whoever has the least stealth.
Which I think is Leafy.
Sorry.
What's Blueberry's stealth?
Better than Leafy.
9.
Yeah, it's Leafy. You gotta roll.
Yeah.
Actually, what is Jojyre's stealth?
My stealth? I have a plus
Yeah.
13.
I have a plus 11.
Okay.
Wow,
Yeah.
almost
He trips.
good. Wow.
Okay,
That's a
so,
9.
Leafy trips and
but
absolutely
as
stacks it.
far as you know, you're stealthy.
Yep.
That's how it works. Otherwise, I'm one
Leafy's doing the like.
My goblin does that.
Leafy's a bit distracted by like trees and stuff.
Hmm.
I'm making my way south.
Making our way down.
Making my way.
So to the south, you can see the fallen tree log that breaches over onto an island, where you can also see. It looks like maybe even ruins or something.
Is there a light over there?
Possibly.
There is, yeah.
Gonna keep walking and peeking out. Can I see it? Like the water, is the water flowing at all, or is it completely stagnant?
It's
Like, is,
the water's fairly like it's just that brackish. It's not really flowing very much. Almost that swampish.
do I see which direction it's flowing? Like where would I think that the water would probably be flowing to? So I can just like start
to
moving
the
upstream
south.
at least. Okay, so it's flowing down.
I'm gonna try and balance on the log and make my way over to the island.
There's no balance check required. About halfway over the log. Well, we'll go back to halfway.
All right.
So wait.
You can see, which you couldn't see before, there seems to be a skeleton just at the end of the log.
Oh. Kind of.
Like a
Yeah,
little
there's a dead
skeleton.
body here.
A little body.
Is it humanoid?
You would say so. It seems to be that humanoid, but very small for humanoid.
Kind of my size?
Yeah.
Is the skull reptilian or
No.
flat? Okay.
What's
It
there?
looks like a dead. Looks like a skeleton of like a halfling or a goblin or something.
Recent? Or is it?
If it's a skeleton, probably not.
Okay. There's no murder mystery afoot then. All right, I'm fine with that.
Maybe not. Still, be careful.
Just following along the path.
I'm gonna sneak past the skeleton, keeping an eye on it.
I'm gonna look to see if there's any bags or anything next to it. And for identification purposes, of course.
Well, yes, there is. Seems to be as you get off, you won't see it until you get off the log on the other side. And seems to be clutching onto an old leather satchel.
Just gonna pick it up.
Be careful.
Now I could.
Can I
Yeah.
look at the bones and see if they're like yellowed and aged, or if like it looks like it was something that someone's like cleaned off the bones, but they're fresher. If that makes
Medicine
sense.
or nature or something like that.
I'll go nature. Oh, my rolls are so bad today.
But even with a 16, it looks like it's just age.
Okay.
Age certainly seems to be the situation here.
Mm.
If this connects to the river, sometimes people who can't afford to bury their dead dispose of them there. In theory, it would go out to the ocean, but
Can I try and have a look across this to the other island over here to see what's causing the light?
There seems to be a little, like, on the other island to the west, there seems like the trees around the island are quite thick and like it's like the trees, how can I spot the roots are above the island itself, and so the roots are above, and like there's light coming from underneath.
Like it's like mangroves
Yeah, like a mangroves. Yeah, so like they're above, and there's light coming from underneath.
in the roots.
Yeah, in the roots, and you hear, "Oh, hello there.
Hello.
Care to share a fire?"
Can we see who's
No,
speaking?
it's like it's certainly coming from the direction of where the glow is coming from.
I'm currently elbow deep in the satchel. What's in it?
Oh, the satchel. Elbow deep in the satchel. The satchel has what seems to be an old, looks like a potion bottle which has something in it, but it's it might be viable still. Might take some work to make it viable. The leather satchel also has the individual seems to also have had armor, which is worn away, but has an intact amulet. Which I have to click on to figure out what it looks like, and hopefully it loads up properly. A clay figurine looks like in the shape of like a white cat with outstretched paw. Seems to be attached to what used to be armor of some like leather armor from years ago.
Yeah, I just literally just cut it off the armor.
Yeah.
I'd like to see if the armor's still viable. If it's not viable, I'm just
The
gonna leave it
armor's
here.
not viable at all. The other thing is there seems to be a map inside the satchel. It's old. It's on vellum, but it's still just legible. It seems to show this area. And like the 3 islands of where you're standing, the cliffs, it seems to be kind of where you are. On the island to where the glow is coming from is the words, I'll put it into chat here, Ultra Creme's eye. Also, what gives you some pause is that it lists a fort up on one of those cliffs.
But there's no fort there.
You can't see a fort.
Eh.
I'm gonna walk over to Lieriel. I'm just gonna toss her the amulet. I'm gonna toss her the bag. And I'm just gonna toss her everything else.
We've been addressed as well.
You like hand her one thing, she catches one, she catches the other, she has no more hands. I'm assuming all of these came in the bags. You could have put them back, but
Yeah, but just for more effect, just to make sure that you understood exactly what I was giving you. The map, it's very important. The other things, we can find out the value later.
Guys, there was something calling over to us from.
I have some cooked eel if you'd like.
have I ever heard of Saint Alcatarum?
I don't know. Have you? I might have to do this
What
while
would I
secret though.
roll? Yeah.
Because it's something
hmm
that you might.
Maybe it's religion. Maybe.
Well, that's
it's
why I'm not saying. That's why I'm doing it
Escobar.
secretly.
Yeah.
May I ask who I'm speaking to?
My name's Gerald.
Okay. It's a fairly normal name.
Whoever Gerald is, I love him immediately. Just
Just from the name, is it?
from the it's like such a like throwaway name that I'm just like, ah, yes.
Perfect.
You've heard of something like you don't know exactly what it is, but I think it's arcane something.
Hmm.
Like it's not a saint, it's not a religious thing.
Yeah,
It might be something arcane. It's
the only saint around here is Saint Sonax, and that's kind of long irrelevant. I'm not sure. Could be a trap. Everything could be a trap. I don't
Have
know.
you seen the person
I'm
talk?
a bit paranoid right now.
Yeah, same. Is there anything in these ruins?
nothing.
That's
Nah.
what I was looking at before. It's just
It seemed to have been maybe it's hard to even work out what there was from. It's long ago, like destroyed, just over time. But no real. Oh, like this was burnt or like it just seems to be time. Maybe a little
I'll
hermitage something or hermit something.
I'll put the other stuff back in the bag and just kind of sling it over my shoulder to look at later, and I'll keep the map out.
Gerald,
Yeah.
can you come out and speak to us?
Oh, it's much more cozier here.
Well, I'm having a sneaking suspicion that you may be a ghost of some kind. Can you please come out and talk to us?
Why would I be a ghost?
Well,
Because we can't see you?
can't see you.
But I'm right here.
We have a very religious person with us. They can exorcise your ass if you do not comply. This is just for kindness, just to make sure. We're in the middle of a swamp, you see.
Gerald, can I just ask, what's brought you out this way? We are clearing some brush. I'm just curious why. I mean, we're not terribly fond of this area, so I'm wondering why someone else might be here.
I live here.
How long have you lived here?
All my life.
We won't be bothering you at all if we clear away some of this, will you? Or will we?
Well, you're not clearing away the swamp, are you?
If we were,
Mostly
would that be a
just-
problem? We're not going to clear it, we're just going to try and help the water flow a bit better.
But I like it like that.
And
Is this your house, Gerald? Just pointing back at the ruins.
So no. This is my house. That's why I've got the fire.
we can't see a fire or you.
Of course you can see me.
I think he's
No.
Are you under the roots?
Yeah, I'm here. You can see me.
No, can I seek to try and...
Should we go over?
And now you can't.
What? I'm not liking where this is going.
That was
And at that,
that was clever.
and at that, a light turns up next to Lieriel.
That's very clever.
And this is more clever.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
29 to attack, flat-footed Lieriel.
Okay. 29 to attack.
A flat-footed Lieriel.
So that would make it a 31 to attack,
Yes.
which would make it a critical hit.
Which would make it 22 electricity damage.
Oh.
That's not fun for her.
No.
I'm assuming we were fully healed by all of the days
Yes,
and
time.
stuff. Okay.
Yes.
You said 22?
22 electricity damage.
Not that bad.
I see an
Please
X.
tell.
Wait, I don't have an
Okay.
X.
You somehow
It's
went
like-
to X. There we go.
Sorry. Yeah.
But there's a glow next to you. And it's almost a glow with like electricity next to you. And let's not do initiative, and let's leave that to next time.
I don't love Gerald as much.
Hey, Gerald.
Sure.
No, that's not Gerald. Gerald's over
That's
there,
not
isn't he?
Look.
Whoever it is, they're about to have a bad time.
Yes, yes. Whoever it is, they're about to get bodied.
This is what I do.
So,
I get sent into situations to nearly die.
sorry for those watching. I was moving the things on like I had to close the map, so I was moving things around and pulling up character sheets and stuff. So that's why I had to minimize the map. But you saw a little bit of what was going on underneath the map there. But yeah, Gerald's still over there.
Are they though? Really?
Yes, yes, they are.
There's multiple.
We don't
of
trust
these.
you.
You'll find out next week.
All of the Geralds
Suppose
are
we
going
will.
to descend and attack.
Yep.
Is it gonna be Gerald and Gerald and Gerald, like waterfall and waterfall and waterfall?
I do like waterfall and waterfall.
Please no.
You liked waterfall and waterfall as well.
Come on, Lorian. Don't you need to summon electricity elementals at some point?
Those don't exist, actually. I mean,
I,
air elementals, I
brain.
suppose.
Yeah.
like, are you really sure that they don't exist? Maybe not.
Maybe they do.
Anyway, let's do our outros and let's wrap this up. You did come into the forest. You found some things, and I just think we need to finish before we start a combat because that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
But at least there's some other things
Also,
here.
I'm very tired.
Yes, that's why I also want to finish. Welcome to the dangerous plot.
The
Ah,
dangerous
yes.
Literally.
Ah,
Is that what this chapter is
hilarious.
called?
Hilarious.
My goodness.
Yeah. So let's do our outros. We'll start with MrLiveProducer. I'll get the music wording and start whoever we're going to raid.
Well, I'm MrLiveProducer. I've been playing This is probably the most annoyed you've ever seen Jake. Which I don't think many people have seen that. So, yeah, so Jake is competitive sometimes. But yeah, I'm MrLiveProducer. You can catch me at twitch.tv/MrLiveProducer. Well, normally do VR content. I have a TikTok. I'm doing all the socials. I actually put up a video last Saturday about what I actually do for work. So you can see what you do for that.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Also, you can catch me next Wednesday here at Goblin Cave TV, where I also run the Master Naruto campaign here on Goblin Cave TV, which is getting interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's dangerous usually. Emi.
Hi, my name's Emi Rabbit, but you guys can call me Emi. I'm playing Leafy, the Leshy Druid. And you can find me over on twitch.tv/Emi_Rabbit, where I am very close to reaching Twitch affiliate, which is pretty fun.
Hey.
Yeah, I've just got to do a couple of more streams, so I should probably be affiliate by the end of the weekend, hopefully. I'm gonna do some Minecraft streams, and I've been playing Tell Me Why for Pride Month. So, which is really interesting. It's by the same people who made Life is Strange. And it's like this really interesting like mystery that's going on and exploratory story game, which is pretty fun. But otherwise, like I've been playing Minecraft and doing hardcore Minecraft and the normal stuff for me. And you can see me over there. And yeah, lots of things happening.
Oh, I just wanted to put the pin that I was working on earlier is the Goblin Pride pin from Paizo.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, happy Pride Month, everyone.
Yay, happy Pride.
Pride Month.
Lorian.
Hi, I'm Lorian Ross. I've been playing Azzy, and you can find me on Twitter at Lorian_Ross, and now on YouTube at youtube.com/c/Lorian Ross.
Yeah.
Got my own
Well
YouTube
done.
channel, and yeah, I've been uploading all my music there now. I've just passed, I think. What was my? I think I've just passed like 150 subscribers, which is
Ooh,
really
that's
cool.
not bad.
And yeah, 224 subscribers. And so yeah,
Nice.
come along, check it out. I've got, I'm trying to upload music more somewhat frequently because I'm uploading all my commission stuff there as well. Which, by the way, I'm open for commissions. So if you want to hire me to do music for your projects, your stream, RPG, character themes, whatever you want, my commission's open. So that's at Lorian_Ross on Twitter and youtube.com/c/Lorian Ross for my YouTube.
And just as a note, Lorian also did the intro music for this show too, as well as
Yes, that
the
I did.
two versions of the Call of Cthulhu Master Knowledge show.
Yep.
Del.
Hello, everyone. I am Del. I've been
Put that
playing
in chat.
Lieriel the Liberated, your Elven Asmar escape artist and cleric of Callistria, and I am so happy that we are in Escadar. I have been so excited and so terrified for these sessions. I cannot wait to hopefully at some point explore more of the city and get to tell you guys just little things about it, hopefully. But yeah, tune in next week for all of us dying or not dying, and then potentially almost dying again. Tends to be how things go. But yeah, that's all I got. Don't find me anywhere but here. Always find me here.
Yay.
Well,
Yes, hey everybody, my name is Will, I've been playing Jojyre, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun today, been enjoying Escadar a lot. Finally, we have moved past the calm before the storm. It is time for all of us to start, start taking
Weathering
over.
the storm.
Using level 3 spells.
Yes, it's time. Well, I'm really excited. It's been a lot of fun. So just make sure to always follow us on Goblin Cave TV. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to leave a comment, make sure to do all the good stuff, the bell, everything and everywhere all at once. Also, a really good movie. You should watch that.
Yes, amazing movie.
Hope everyone enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
and my name's Karsh Goblin. I'm having a lot of fun tormenting these lovely, lovely people with pushing those buttons and whatnot. If you want to see an alternate version of this episode, go look on YouTube for our archive and check out Gen Con 2021, Gen Con Online, I believe it was, where we did almost this session, but on the Paizo Live official channel. On their Twitch channel, it was played out very differently. It could be kind of why some of the players kind of knew what we were expecting, because we've done little bits of this previously. And also, I do want to ask our players here, who do we want to raid? I've got 4 lined up. Everyone is valid as each other, but I'll just give you the games they're playing. Good Society, Honey Heist, Call of Cthulhu One Shot, or Outlaws of Alkenstar.
Outlaw.
Honey, sorry. Honey.
I gotta vote for Honey Heist.
Honey
I love
Heist.
There's 2 for Honey, 2 for Alkenstar. MLP, don't say Cthulhu. Because if you say Cthulhu, I'm just
You
going to
have
go
two
for
options.
Or
You know what? Because of the conversation we had earlier with Emi, he's going to be Honey Heist.
Yeah.
because that was mentioned offline earlier. So we're going to go to Honey Heist. They're also like cosplaying, which is pretty cool for Honey Heist. It looks adorable. So we're going to be raiding the Grouch Couch, who are playing Honey Heist at the moment. They are, as I said, they're cosplaying. If you don't know Honey Heist, it's a one-page role-playing game. Really cheeky, really funny, just quick to jump in and just who cares, have fun type of game. So we're going to be raiding them after the credits. So stick around for that. And our raid button is we come to share the love. Our hearts are warm and fresh. And if you're a member of the channel, spam with the Goblin Hearts. If you're not, don't worry about the Goblin Hearts, but it's put in the first part. And thank you everyone for coming in. Thank you all these lovely, lovely people for donating their time and so much thought and effort into this game. So thank you, and let's bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.